night. Blew up for the 1,000th time. Guess I'm always lucky, right? Pop some shit, then fall behind. I jump the gun and take what's mine. Looking like you seen a ghost, moving like a poltergeist. I'm like, wait, what's his name? I'm like, huh, what'd he say, bitch? I don't want your 2 cents. You ain't even paid, bitch. We are not the same. I dropped out in 7th grade, bitch. Came up from the grave. Fuck everything you claim, bitch. You've never seen a trap or a bando. Only time you put a strap is when you wearing Velcro. Say you hit licks, bitch, hell no. Talking like you gotta do shit, but you won't. I see through the shit that you do. Watch me then steal how I move. Your label fake to break through. Fake place, fake views and fake you.
I'm afraid when I wake up I see concrete. Lose my life on concrete. It's too hard to start me. Face, 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 face. All I see is options. Everyone got problems. Anyone's a target. All I damn it, I'm like I'm headed. Kick in the head, I ain't playing to say tennis. Got money, got punches, that's how you don't rap. It's somebody else, something you don't get me guess. Whatever, we don't think about tomorrow. You 2 fingers crossed, nothing is promised. Nobody knows how I feel when I got. That's what I look as I came from the bottom.
Wait, what's his name? I'm like, huh, what'd he say, bitch? I don't want your 2 cents. You ain't even paid, bitch. We are not the same. I dropped out in 7th grade, bitch. Came up from the grave. Fuck everything you claim, bitch.
Hey, hey, wake up. A new adventure lies ahead of us. Hey, hey, remember that cave we found yesterday? Did you pack our swords and lanterns? Cause I think there's something living in here. Not that I'm scared or anything, but I think I saw something up there.
If the scary side comes biting like a fiend, I will stand and fight, yeah, you can count on me. I will protect you from this dark, 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 dark world full of lies. Did you think you could rise against us? Don't you know who we are? We are the lights who dare to shine in the sights of nightmares. For you, for truth, for hope, for love.
Poor little creature, bitten and bleeding. Don't give up hope. I'll wrap you up and take you to safety. Don't give up hope. We fought the demon that had attacked you. Please rest and heal. I want to save you. Please let me save you. Don't give up hope. Hey, hey, this place. It's kinda scary, but we'll be okay. Big bro, I'll let you go first and be my shield.
No, thank you. Did you pack on mana potions? Cause there's something evil living in here. Not that I'm scared or anything, but I think it's good to be prepared.
If a scary sight comes biting like a fiend, I will stand and fight. Yeah, you can count on me. I will protect you from this dark, 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 dark
World full of lies. Did you think you could rise against us? Don't you know who we are? We were the weak who did to take on the sea of nightmares, protecting hopes and dreams for all. What have we here, little ones? Did you really think?
Hi, chat. Hi. Hello, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I'm still sending out like going live notifications and everything, and just doing a lot right now, and it is a lot of work. Let me tell you. Let me be the first to tell you that this is a lot of work, okay? And then we also have to post a short today because I haven't been posting shorts for the last few days, and I feel foolish because of it. So now I have to like Cute. Okay. Hi, chat. How are you? Hello, hello, hello. Okay. I need to turn this down a little bit more. There we go. Hi, chat. Hi, how are you? Why does the handle look like that? It's so weird. I genuinely don't have the patience to even try to comprehend that right now. So we'll do this instead. Cool, great. It looks better already. Wow. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Wow. Just pop a filter on, it fixes everything. Anyways, hi chat, how are you? Today's stream plans. Oh my god, chat. Okay, actually well, hold on. Okay, I'll tell you guys the stream plan. Today we're gonna watch true crime videos. We're gonna watch like 1 or 2 true crime videos. I have not decided on which ones, but they're gonna be like the JCS like true crime videos. I really do enjoy true crime and like talking about it, and yeah, because it's like criminal psychology, so it's like good stuff, you know. It's not like, you know, and they very very rarely. Oh, this one's 59 minutes. We could watch this one and watch this one. I don't want to watch like super super long ones because like my attention span is like 0. So like, granted, I guess I can also like pause them, but this one's an hour. This one's like 17 minutes. Let's find one that's, oh, we can watch like, this one's 13 minutes. So we can watch the 17-minute one, the 13-minute one, and then maybe if we can find one that's shorter than 59 minutes, that would be really great. Oh, this one's 21 minutes. And my house is on fire, but at least she'd be healthy. Ah, some of these are really long too, though. Oh, I think I know which one that is. Okay, so here's what we can do. Okay, we can watch like the first. Oh, actually, let's start from the beginning. Let's watch like the first 3, because it's like part 1, part 2, part 3. So we'll watch the first 3, and then maybe we'll do part 4, or we'll watch a few OTV and Friends videos. We do have a lot of OTV and Friends videos to catch up on, which is why we're doing that today as well, as like part of reaction. I'm trying to set a specific schedule for things that I want to do on specific days. So I'm thinking Sundays will be a specific news day, news, quote unquote, for like things that have happened throughout the week. If nothing crazy has happened throughout the week, then it will just be me updating you guys on my life, and then probably some games after. But more than anything, I'd love for it to be like whatever news has happened throughout the week, and there's always news happening. I think news is so important to like talk about and be. Hold chat, hold. Oh, it was right there. Surely if I just get it. Surely if I just get, well, now my hair is all fucked. Anyways, so yeah, so that's today's plan. We're gonna watch like maybe 3, 2, 3. I'm gonna try to say 3 because the first 3 videos, one's 21 minutes, the second one's 24, the last one's 30 minutes. So I figure we can watch all 3 of those. Why is this so bright? This should be a nice calm moment for us all. It feels too bright still in some parts, so I don't like that. So we're gonna make it that. So that way we can really see it. Cute. Anyways. So yeah, I'm thinking that we'll do 3 JCS criminal psychology videos. And then we'll do we'll do. What could we do after? Oh, and then we're gonna do OTV and Friends. Sorry, my brain was not working for a second. But before we do that, let me tell you guys something. So, I had a dream last night. I don't know why this stressed me out. I don't know. I think we were like in Vegas or like New York. We were like in some sort of city that had like really nice hotels. Could have been Vegas. Could have been. It was giving like Vegas mixed with like New York, because I remember like when like we walked outside, it was giving very much like hustle and bustle of New York. It wasn't giving like chaotic Vegas. It was giving hustle and bustle New York. That's what it was giving. It was giving hustle bustle New York. Okay. And I remember walking. Also, I don't know who this child. I don't know who this child is. By the way, anyways, there's a random child in this story, in this dream of mine. But anyways, we were sitting there. It was like me and my family. It was like me, my mom, my stepdad. I think my sister was there, her partner. And then like some random child. I don't know who this random child is. And then maybe her parents were there too. I don't remember her name. I remember it started with an M though. So I don't know. I don't know who this child is. Anyways. So we're sitting there. It's a fun time. We're existing, we're vibing. And we're sitting there eating. We're all eating. And then my mom was like, all right, let's just go. And I was like, mind you, this is not my mom's, like, this is not who my mom is as an individual at all. I have to clarify that now. But anyways, in this dream, like, we finished eating. We're like sitting at this table. It's like kind of like in this lobby. It almost is like where we were eating, it's almost giving coffee shop. But like when you walk outside, it's giving, but like it's like coffee shop, like really tiny, like really small tables too. But like in a big, huge hotel. But like when you walk outside the doors of this like little coffee shop slash hotel part, it's giving very much like, it's giving very much, what's it called? It's giving very much hustle and bustle New York. And so anyways, so we're eating, we're sitting down at this table, me, my family, me, my mom, my stepdad, my sister, her partner, this little random child, and maybe her family. Anyways, and so then I'm like sitting there and I'm like, we finished eating. My mom's like, all right, let's go. And I was like, oh yeah, like let's throw our stuff away. And again, this is not who my mom is at all. I have to preface this. And my mom was like, oh, just leave it there. Like she like, for some reason she said it in Spanish, which was really funny to me. But anyways, she like said it in Spanish and it's essentially like, she's like, oh, just leave it to the help. And I was like, huh? And she was like, yeah, like they'll take care of it or whatever. And I was just like, that is not kind at all. Like, we do not do that. I was like, I don't care if you're joking. I was like, they have enough going on. They haven't, I was like, I don't care if this is their job. Like, you don't go to a Starbucks and just like leave a mess on the table and be like, oh, like we're just gonna leave it for like the workers to take care of because that's what they get paid to do. Like, no, their job is not to come from behind the counter and like come wipe off your table. If you want to sit at that table, like you can like wipe it off with a napkin really quick and like wipe it down or whatever, but like they're not obligated to like walk around this restaurant and like clean off tables and stuff like that. They're not servers, okay? They are baristas and they barely get paid enough to even deal with the crap that they have to deal with. Anyways, back to the stream. So my mom was like, yeah, the help can take care of it. And I'm like, girl, absolutely not. I don't think so. I don't think so. So anyways, so then we continue. Me and my mom were like arguing. And I was like, I said something along the lines of like, I don't give a damn. Like, if you're joking or not, like, we do not like treat people like this. Like, I was like, you raised me better than that. Like, so why would you try to act like this or something like that? And I was like really upset with her in the stream. And then she like just like walked away. And so I was like, whatever, I'll catch up with you guys later. And so I like start cleaning off this table myself. And then like the random little girl that was sitting with us like also like comes back to like help me out. And she's like, no, like just like let's just like try to get it like a little bit clean so that way it's not as much. And I was like, no, I'm cleaning this entire table off at this point out of spite, honey. And so I clean this entire table off, really good and fresh, best time of my life. and I clean it off. And then that's about the time that I wake up too, because then I like started getting stressed because then me and this little random child could not find my mother anymore, and we were like, well, where the heck did she go? Where is she at? So now we're stressed. We're trying to find my mom, and we can't find her. And then I'm like calling my sister. I'm like calling people. Nobody's answering their phones. And then I get a notification on my phone that like some sort of like um threat has happened nearby. And so then I like start freaking out, and then I wake up because I was like, oh my god, like what the heck. So that was my dream last night. It was really fun. I hated it. Never again. Also, um, so remember, so remember yesterday when I was like, oh, I'm sick. Um, I'm not. It turns out I had an ear infection, which, depending on like what kind of ear infection you have, for the most part, a lot of times can be linked to your throat. Like it can cause your throat to hurt. It can cause like other like sick like symptoms such as like coughing or like whatever. So I'm pretty sure I had an ear infection because for the past 2 days my ear had been hurting. And so then yesterday I had like told my mom, I was like, oh, like my ear hurts really, really bad. Like I don't really know what else to do. Like, and so I'm like sitting there. I'm like, my ear hurts. Like literally all day yesterday and the day before that, like my ear was hurting. Like anytime I've been over, like whatever, my ear hurt. It hurt bad. And I could not figure out. I was like, I don't understand. And I did take like a decongestant. In my household, we usually take Mucinex because that's the best one. And so I took some Mucinex, and like that wasn't doing anything. And my mom like told me yesterday, she's like, yeah, take some Mucinex, like make sure you're drinking lots of water, like your body just needs to like get rid of it. So then by later in the evening, she was like, how are you feeling? And I was like, my ear still hurts. And she was like, you could have an ear infection. And I was like, oh my god. At first I thought it was a sinus infection, and I was like, oh my god. And most sinus infections do like can't go away. They will go away after like 2 weeks depending on the type. But I was like stressed because I was like, I don't want to go to the doctor. I hate going to the doctor. The doctor stresses me out, please. Because then they're going to be like, oh, when's the last time you had a physical? And I've never had a physical, by the way, because I don't play sports or anything. Like I also have gone to a pediatrician the past like 21 years of my life. Last year and this year last year as of 2020. Well, I went to the doctor last in 2021, and that was when I turned 21. Or like right before I turned 21 maybe. And I haven't gone to the doctor since. So I'm just assuming that I'm a healthy bitch. We're just assuming that I'm a healthy girl. Because I have not gone to the doctor in ages. S in the chat if you could relate. um but yeah. So it was, hold on. Anyways, but pretty much I was like stressed. I was like, I don't want to go to the doctor because if I have a sinus infection, I don't want to deal with that. And I don't want to have to like deal with all that crap because then I have to like call my dad and be like, hi, with the insurance, like all this other stuff. I need you to send me a picture of it, like everything. And then I have to give it to them, and like I would need it beforehand, like before anything else. Does that make sense? So you could see why I was stressed, right? So I was stressed. So then I was like, you know what? Okay. I was like, you know what? Whatever. And so my mom was like, yeah, you probably have an ear infection. And I was like, okay. So I go to the local Google. I Google it. I say how to cure yourself of a ear infection. And one of the first few things on this list was like putting hydrogen peroxide in your ear to essentially like kill, or like not kill, but like help regulate the bacteria or whatever that's in your ear, depending on if it's like an inner ear or outer ear or middle ear infection. And so I can't remember like what each type of infection was, because like there's a specific one that is linked to the throat, but I don't know if they're all linked to the throat. But yeah, so I was really stressed out about that, and I was like, oh my god, this is the worst day of my life. Ew. And so I'm sitting there and I was like, okay, Well, here's what we can do, girl. So, I, being the genius that I am, was like, you know what? It's like 10:40 at night last night, and I'm like, you know what? It can't hurt to try. We're gonna give it a shot. I put this hydrogen peroxide in my ear. I tilt my head to the side. I put the hydrogen peroxide in my ear. I put like a drop or two in there at first, and I was like, that's not enough. It's barely sizzling. I put more in there, and then when I do that, it starts doing like this weird thing where it's like, I don't know what the hell it was doing, but it was like bubbling, but like deeper into my, like, I could feel it. Like, I could feel it. It was like, it was like doing something in my ear, and it was weird. It was so weird. Anyways, and so I go, and I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. And so I like leave it in my ear for like a solid like 2.5, maybe 3 minutes. And then I was like, okay, like whatever. I don't care. Like I'm just gonna like, because it literally said it was like only like do it for like a few seconds. Me, I normally can clean my ears anyways with um with hydrogen peroxide. Like not every time I clean my ears, but like every like, every like month and a half, every like 2 months. Like if my ears get like really dirty, I'm gonna use hydrogen peroxide because like I'll like clean it out first, and then I'll use hydrogen peroxide to kind of like break up some of the other stuff and to also like kind of like get some other gunk and stuff out of there. It works so well, and then like I can hear really well after that, and I'm suddenly like, oh my god, I can hear. One of the greatest things on this planet is that feeling. So, anyways, I put the hydrogen peroxide in my ear, leave it in there for like 2 minutes, and then after that, I like tilt my head over, I let it all out, get a Q-tip, clean my ear out really quick, and I can hear. And the pain is slightly there now. And I was like, weird, should I do it again? I don't do it again. I was like, because I remember my mom was like, don't do it too much because like you can like harm your eardrum. And I was like, oh, okay. And she had told me this like years ago when I first started using hydrogen peroxide, because she was like, yeah, like if you use hydrogen peroxide to clean your ears, it works really, really well to like unclog your ears too, because of like the bubbling and stuff like that. And like, so she's like, it works really, really well. She's like, but you can't do it like every single time you clean your ears because it's bad for your ears. And I was like, oh, valid. So me being the person that I am, I was like, okay. So last night I was like, no, we're not gonna do it twice. So then I like go downstairs, I eat really quick, and then I was like, I think I just had some pasta. My mom makes this stuff. I call it fancy pasta. And it essentially is like penne pasta with like bell peppers, like red. I think she uses like red, green, and possibly yellow bell peppers. I don't know. But I know for a fact that there's red and green bell peppers in there. And then she adds garlic, and then she dices up some sausage, or like cuts up sausage, and then puts the sausage in there too, and then like some salt and pepper, and like olive oil, and it's so good. It is one of my favorite things that she makes. Every single time she makes it, it's my favorite thing that she makes. I love when she makes it. I literally request it very, very frequently because it's my favorite thing that she ever makes. Okay, it's giving carbs. It's giving full on carbs, but I do not care. It's so good. Anyways, I go downstairs and I eat. I go to sleep after that. I put on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then I go to sleep. And then I wake up this morning and I was like expecting my ear to hurt really bad, and it didn't. It didn't. The hydrogen peroxide worked that fast. My ear does not hurt at all anymore. Okay, that means that we can easily check that off our list of things that was probably the issue, was me having an ear infection, or at least the start of one. And had I not done anything sooner, my freaking ear would probably still be in pain. So, anyways, that is essentially what happened to me last night. It was a really fun time. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time with that. Thank you. That's all. Anyways, we're gonna watch some JCS criminal psychology videos. Before we do that, I need to get my water really quick. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna BRB. I'm gonna mute really quick too. So BRB. Okay. Alright. I'm back. Okay. Any hoozles. Alright, let's watch some criminal psychology. I'm so excited. Police. Why does my face look like that? Stop it. Stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Maybe it'll... Why is it doing that? I don't know why it's doing this, but like any other day, it loves to cooperate. So maybe it's just today. Okay, whatever. We're gonna just deal with it for today, I guess. All right, here we go. Let me pause Mr. Corpse. It's time for
Procrastination sucks.
Oh my god.
Luckily for us, Magic Mind's here to keep you focused. With a magical blend of 12 natural
That is
ingredients
loud.
like matcha green tea, honey, as well as adaptogens and
The drama began shortly after the Frederick Police Department received a call from Nicole Atkinson, the best friend of Shannon Watts. She had arranged to drive Shannon into town that same day for a pregnancy checkup, but there was no answer when she knocked at the door, nor any response to her text messages or phone calls. After noticing her shoes were still at the front door, she became concerned and called 911.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on?
So my friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend.
All right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well, and she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day are right in the front door.
How you doing? You seen your neighbors today? No? Okay. What's Chris's phone number?
Chris's phone number is...
Hey, Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is? Right. What my concern is her car's here. They're saying she is diabetic. I don't want her... If she's upstairs and can't respond. Okay. About how far out are you? Okay. All right. He said like 5 minutes.
It's not a sure sign of guilty conduct, yet the fact that Chris made the officer wait for his return would have most likely alerted some minor suspicion. In normal circumstances, a husband receiving a call from the police saying they were concerned about the safety of their pregnant wife and children, in most cases, would have given them permission to immediately kick the door down. It's a truly somber awareness to know that the man stepping out of the car had only a very short time ago dumped his infant daughter's bodies into an oil tank and buried his pregnant wife in a shallow grave.
Scott, how you doing?
How's it going?
So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that, yeah.
She would drive? Okay.
The familiar routine for anyone checking for someone's presence inside a house, whether it be an emergency or otherwise, is to immediately call out to them for instantaneous reassurance. Chris remains silent, but instead feels the need to examine his wife's car before subtly sneaking through the internal garage door. He then disappears for 1 minute and 7 seconds before letting the neighbors and police officer inside. Only Chris will know what he carried out during that time period, but it's safe to assume that his curious behavior was not going unnoticed, made evident by the unsettled gaze of Nicole as he opens the door.
Mind if I come in, Chris?
There were multiple key moments captured from inside the house, which may not have been noticed immediately by the officer, but would have no doubt been gathered by forensics upon further investigation. The most overt peculiarity was Chris's interaction with his phone. The guise of his thumb movement would have given the impression he was texting someone, which would have seemed very peculiar, as the normal response would be to frantically call people.
I'm sorry, can we just back up really quick to the fact that he just buried a short time ago his 2 children and his wife?
Rather than text given the circumstances. Hindsight gives us a clearer picture of Chris's introversion, which is that he was most likely using his phone to avoid eye contact and progressive dialogue with the officer.
What time do you leave the day?
What time to leave there? Come
No, here.
Usually between 5:30 and 6.
All right. And was Shannon here then?
Yes. Yeah, she's still in bed.
Does she usually watch the kids, or you have daycare watch them? Or?
She usually watches the kids at her high school.
Okay. You guys have any kind of issues, marital issues, or?
We're going through separation.
You are? And how's that going?
It's going
Civil for the most
civil.
part, or?
Oh my god. I don't trust him. I mean, I know that they literally just said that he killed her, but like, I already am like, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Not one bit. Not one little tiddlywink of a bit. I'm moving the cam up here.
Additionally, we are presented with the subtle cues of Chris's forethought cover story, being that his wife simply ran off with the kids after a breakdown in the marriage.
All the girls' blankies are gone. Their blankies they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good.
That's wild.
There's on the nightstand next to her brother's. She takes off her clothes hair.
The rest of Chris's conduct
Odd. Real odd that he'd be like, she takes it off to color her hair. To essentially like really further the story that like, oh, like, which I'm assuming that maybe she really does color her hair, but then it's like, oh, like she's gone, like all like the girls' blankets and stuff are gone, to essentially like really further this narrative that like she really did like skip town and leave, which would then make sense of like coloring her hair. And so like she takes it off when she colors her hair, and also like they're going through a separation right now. Coinky dink.
could be analyzed and dissected in various ways, and it would be easy to pick at certain oddities in body language and link them with signs of guilt. Yet, without the hindsight we have now, his behavior could just as easily be linked with an innocent man who is understandably concerned and frantic over the disappearance of his family. His very conservant neighbor, however, had the perceptual advantage of knowing Chris on a semi-personal level, and could analyze his kinesics in a far more accurate manner than the police officer.
You just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick.
Immerse yourself in 19th
I hate
century
ads.
French romance. Overflowing.
Knowing that Ray pays for YouTube Premium, and I know that because she doesn't. Hi, Mari. ¿Por qué no trust? Like, why don't we trust him? So at the beginning, okay, so it literally just, well, the narrator of this video literally was like, oh, my audio's low, like for my mic or for the video? For the mic or for the video? I'm assuming for the video. I'll just turn it down in my headphones a little bit. But pretty much at the beginning of this, they the police were like knocking all over the windows and stuff, and they were like, hey, where's your, both you and the video? Oh, okay. Let me turn this down. We'll turn this up. We'll turn this down. We'll turn this down. Oh, okay. We'll do that. That one's fine. Release threshold is really high. That's the reason why, probably. LMAO. Okay. Ha ha ha. We're fixing things. We're fixing things. I'm so sorry, chat. Please hold. Please hold. Hold. Output gain. We can probably turn that up a lot more. LOL. And then I can do this, or I could just turn it off. LOL. And trash that. And trash that. There we go. There we go. Okay. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me now? Is it better? Is it mucho better? Let me know. Pero if I have to take out one more thing. Okay, she say it's better. She say it's better. Okay. Okay. So pretty much what happened was the guy, the husband, he essentially goes and he was like, they're like, the police are like knocking on the doors, on the windows and everything. They can't get in. Like, they're like, we don't know. Like, her friend is the one that was concerned. She was the one who like originally called the police and was like, she's like not answering her phone. She was supposed to have a doctor's appointment today because she's like 15 weeks pregnant or whatever, and like they just got back from a business trip. And then like, so then they call Chris. This isn't Chris. Chris is this guy. That's Homegirl's husband. And I forgot the lady's name, but so pretty much Homegirl, her friend like calls and she's like, hey, like she's not answering the phone, like whatever. The police are like, yeah, like can you like get here? And so then everybody, like the police are already like, that's a little suspicious because like any normal person. Also to mention, Chris's wife is like diabetic too. So not only is she pregnant, but she's also diabetic. And so then they like call he's like, oh yeah, like I'll be there in like 5 minutes. And so instead of being like, they're already like, okay, that's a little bit suspicious because like any normal concerned husband with like 2 kids at home with his wife who's diabetic, and like if she like can't get to something like to like be better, like would be like bust down the door because like she could be like, you know, out of like she might be like not okay like at all, like she might need, you know, medical help. But he was just like, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And so then like he gets there, he's like really laissez-faire, not really like frantic, not really like, oh my god, where is she, what the heck, like whatever. He goes into the garage but doesn't have anybody else come with him. He's essentially like, oh, give me a second, I'm gonna go open up the front door for you guys. So then he like goes through the garage, disappear, like he's like looking into her car like, oh my god, like essentially like looking for stuff to like make sure that like he didn't leave anything. Mind you, the narrator was like, it should be noted that Chris literally just a short while ago just buried his 2 daughters and just dumped his 2 daughters' bodies into an oil rig and buried his wife in a very shallow grave somewhere, apparently. So he just killed both his children and his wife, okay? Girl, okay. So he does this. And so then he's like, they're like asking him questions, and he like, it's like essentially trying to paint this narrative of like, oh, essentially trying to paint the narrative that she like ran away, like took the 2 girls and like ran away, because he was like, oh yeah, like we were like, the officer was like, oh, like were you guys having any marital problems? And he was like, oh, like we were going through a separation. And he was like, how, the officer was like, how was that going? And he was like, oh, like it was going like, you know, it's civil, I guess. And like he was like, okay. And so then he like walks into the girls' room, like the 2 little girls' rooms, or like their shared room, I should say. And then he's like, oh, like all their blankies and stuff are gone. Like they wouldn't go anywhere without these blankies. Like essentially like still trying to further the narrative that like she skipped town. And then he like finds her wedding ring, and he's like, oh, like it's her wedding ring. And then she's like, her friend was like, oh, like why did she like take it off? And he was like, she like only takes it off like whenever she's coloring her hair. Again, trying to like further the narrative, which would obviously mean that she colored her hair like on a pretty regular basis, but would make more sense if he was trying to further this narrative that she skipped town because like she took off the wedding ring, and to be like, oh, like she colored her hair so that way like she wouldn't be easily recognizable. They found the bodies in the oil rig. Yeah. Well, I'm assuming they find it eventually, but that the narrator said that like right at the beginning. That's crazy.
His behavior could just as easily be linked with an innocent man who is understandably concerned and frantic over the disappearance of his family. His very conservant neighbor, however, had the perceptual advantage of knowing Chris on a semi-personal level.
We stand
and
the neighbor.
analyze his kinesics in a far more accurate manner than the police officer.
You just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick. No.
Ooh.
Right.
To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy.
Ooh.
That's pretty recently.
Not not the neighbor giving the full insight, not the neighbor giving the tea. He said, honey, let me tell you something. He said, this man is not acting right now, girl. He said he is not giving what he's supposed to give. This is not how he be acting.
He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Smells like fire.
Because, and I agree, because he went inside for like a solid 2 minutes. Like when the officers first, like when he first got out of his truck and was like, oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And he like first got to the house, he got out, went like checked inside the car really quick, and then went inside, didn't tell them to like come inside, and like wasn't really like frantic or anything, just went inside, took like 2 minutes, and then comes to the front door and is like, oh yeah, like come on in, like, and is super chill about the fact that his wife is still there, her shoes still there, her car still there, his 2 children not there, the currently missing. He knows exactly where all 3 of them are because they're all dead. Okay? If she left him, wouldn't she have taken her car? He's like looking into her car. Neighbor, Mike, sir, come on now. Exactly.
What's up, dude? He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did, what he did, what he did. He's very. He never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
This was just after the moment he had shown both Chris and the officer his surveillance footage of that same morning, capturing only Chris leaving the house after loading multiple unidentified things into his truck.
Yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way.
Sorry. That's funny. Not the neighbor. He said, he pulled up the receipts. He said, it's just a little suspicious to me. The neighbor with the tea. Oh my God. He really said, he pulled up the receipts. He said, Grilly, he said, let me tell you something. He said, I'm going to show you the receipts. Why did the cops get called? So the cops got called because her friend and the wife that was 15 weeks pregnant, and then her friend, here I'll show you, where are we at, 601? Okay, so this is the friend. So she essentially called the police because her and Chris's wife, the woman that was 15 weeks pregnant, with the 2 kids as well, her and the wife went on a business trip and like had just dropped her off home alive at 2:00 in the morning. And when they got home, or when she dropped her off, she was like, oh, like, if you need me to take you to the doctor's appointment for your, like, because she's pregnant, she had a doctor's appointment. She's like, if you need me to take you to the doctor's tomorrow, or like when you get up, or like whenever your doctor's appointment is, just let me know, give me a call, whatever. Or if you need me to pick you up, you just let me know, or like whatever. And so she was like, oh, okay, like whatever. And so then she had been calling her for hours, and like homegirl wasn't answering. And so she was like, that's weird, that's suspicious. So she goes over to the house. She looks through the window. She doesn't even see the kids walking around or anything like that. She doesn't see her. So she's like, okay, that's suspicious. And then she sees her shoes, the shoes that this woman wears every single day, the shoes that the wife wears every single day. I don't know why it held your message. Also, a mother would never leave without any of her kids' stuff, the kids' clothes, toys, blankets, whatever. A mother would not leave with her kids without taking all their shit and all of hers. Exactly. So anyways, so then she's like, so she, like, homegirl's getting suspicious. So she's the one who called the cops because she was like, this is really weird that like, she's not answering her phone. Her shoes that she wears every single day are like still here, and they open up the garage, and then the wife's car is still there too. So then already that's even more suspicious, because they're like, well, where the hell would she go if she ain't driving her car? Who would have come pick her up? How did she skip town? Right? That's a little suspicious. And so Chris only thought far enough ahead to essentially paint this narrative to be like, oh, she skipped town, but like she didn't. He killed her and the children. So yeah, okay. So that's the T. Let's go back to 601. We'll go just before it.
This way, I get anything coming this way and making this turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the car pulling the ear trim. So, unless they pulled right here, but I would have caught her walking out.
Although not fully incriminating, as Shannon and the kids could have left through the back entrance, this was an extremely detrimental piece of evidence, and would have no doubt been extolled by forensics and made Chris an immediate prime suspect. The following day, Chris, for some bizarre reason, agreed to be interviewed by 2 separate news stations, where he came across as extremely unimpassioned and detached from the alarming nature of the situation.
Like, when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like, she wasn't here. Kids weren't here. I have no idea, like, where they went.
You
Right
can't
now,
be
it's-
trusted,
we got
Chris.
K-9 units.
I feel like he contacted the news himself to essentially, like, either he contacted the news himself or the news just, like, caught wind of it. And because he's, like, the only one there, he wanted to paint his story to essentially be like, Denver? Denver? This happened in Denver? I'm shook. I'm shook. Had I not seen the... Oh, okay, now I'm even more invested. Did this really... What? Now I gotta get comfy. Girl,
Everybody's,
I gotta
like,
get comfy.
They're doing their best right now to figure out, like, if they can get a scent. If she wasn't here, like, where did she go? Like, once I got here, it was like, all right, who can I call? I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, you know, what's going on? Like, if she's vanished, like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad. Right now, I don't even want to just, like, throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe.
Wait,
right
what's
now.
the
If
other
she's
news
vanished,
station?
like,
9
I want
News,
her
okay.
back so bad. I want those kids back so bad. Right now, I don't even want to just, like, throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. Last night, I wanted.
Also, girl, you could have...
I wanted
Okay.
to knock on the door.
You could have
I
done
wanted
better.
to see
That's
the-
all I'm gonna
I wanted
say.
to see the kids running, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug and knock me on the ground. That's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I'm hoping that somebody sees something or...
So why would you agree to do the news interviews? I feel like he only agreed to do it to essentially like paint himself in a better light, like to essentially like make himself look concerned, because I feel like he probably was thinking like a criminal wouldn't, it would probably make him look more suspicious if he was like, I don't want to talk about it. That would make, I feel like he knows that would make him look way more suspicious than anything, because he'd be like, it'd be like oh, like, why don't you want to do the interview? Like, are you trying to hide something? Like, are you trying to come up with a story? But because he's already trying to paint this story, even now on the news, the fact that this happened in Denver, sorry, okay. And so he's, like, trying to paint the story essentially of, like, oh, like, she skipped town, like, she's gone, like, I can't get a hold of her at all, like, oh my goodness, like, what am I gonna do? Like, oh, XYZ. When, like, really it's just that, like, he a piece of shit.
Somebody knows something
Girl.
and comes forward. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if
Just
somebody
come
has
back.
her, just
Like,
please bring her
please,
back.
just come
I need
back.
to see everybody.
Just
I
come
need
back.
to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here.
Clearly it is, because you killed him. Okay.
Please bring her back.
This could have been construed as shock trauma, where a person will turn numb and retreat into themselves as a means of escape. Yet the viewers watching this live from home were probably thinking what we as the retrospective audience already know. He was called in for questioning 4 hours later.
Oh. I'm sugary shocked.
Alright, let's do this. Somebody saw something. Somebody knows where these kids are. And I keep saying kids, I'm sorry. Your kids in your life. I know you're going through a lot, so we're not going to keep you here all night. Just tell me exactly what you remember, and I'll take notes about where we can go.
Okay. So this 1:48 a.m.
Let me switch chairs. Because when they come knocking,
Okay.
when they come knocking, I got to use that key.
One of the oldest and most commonly used techniques is for the interrogator to sit between the door and the suspect. This is for the purpose of heightening the feelings of isolation and dependence. It's an indirect subliminal message, letting Chris know that the only way out of that room is through the detective. It's an excellent tool for stripping...
I love this already. This is my favorite. Oh, yes, ma'am.
away confidence, thus increasing the telling signs and body language when information is fabricated.
Okay.
4 a.m. That's when my alarm goes off for work, and I'm supposed to get dressed, brush my teeth, everything I do upstairs.
Okay.
About 4:15, that's when I get back, slide right into bed next to her, and start having a conversation with her about putting the house up for sale, and talking about like actually proceeding with the separation.
Okay.
And obviously it gets pretty emotional, like we're talking about, like we felt the disconnection was there, like falling out of love, and trying to stay together, maybe just for the kids' sake, but we're realizing that doing like our homework, it's not, most of the time that's not gonna work.
Yeah. So
that's when I got home. I opened the garage door.
I don't trust him. I mean, we know that we don't trust him, but like, still.
Looked everywhere, Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, nowhere to be found.
Oh my god. Every single time. I hate ads with a passion.
Shannon's wedding ring's on her nightstand, her phone's still on the couch, her purse is still there, the medicine for the kids is still there, the car seat's still there, and there's no sign of them anywhere.
Okay, wait. I have a question. What would y'all do if... You know what I almost said? I almost said, what would you do if when you could, you would do, you should, you would, you do? Colorado, man. Colorado. That's what's getting me. What would y'all do if, like, one of your friends, like, if their spouse killed your friend, or like if like your sibling spouse killed your sibling, whatever, like somebody that you knew personally, their spouse killed them? What would you do? Like, and how would you, because like, especially like, or even if it was like the neighbor, right? Like if you were like the neighbor of like the person that this is happening, like what, like I don't even know like how I would process or compartmentalize like the fact that like somebody did that, like especially because like you don't want to jump to the conclusion that like somebody just murdered someone, so like you don't want to jump to that conclusion, like because it feels very much like a really awful assumption, but then you're like, oh, but if it's true, that's true, you know? Doesn't sleep until 2
I left all
a.m.
the lights on in the house. I was hoping that I'd get a knock on the door, but
Yeah,
nothing.
back.
Yeah, but nothing happened.
What do you think happened?
At first, I really thought maybe she was just at somebody's house, just
Yeah.
decompressing.
Just blowing off steam.
Yeah, but after today, like with the onslaught of all the cars, I mean, all the police cars, all the news, all the canine units, it's making me lean the other direction about someone took her.
Okay.
But it's just...
Okay, but like, if someone took her, wouldn't there be signs of like a break-in, or like, I don't know, like, and they took the kids too? Yeah. Come on, sir.
If someone took her, it would have to have been someone she knew.
It would have to be someone she knew.
There's no sign of anything like being disturbed, broken. But like that's the way I'm leaning now. At first, I thought for real she was just decompressing somewhere. I thought she was safe, even though everything in the house was left there. But now it's just after the day with the news crews and everything, it feels more the other direction.
Sir.
And it's freaking me out. On that night, I woke up that morning, early that morning, I told her like the disconnection it's there, like it's not going away. Like the connection we had in the beginning, it's not there anymore. It's like I don't feel like the love we have is there anymore.
Okay.
And it's just like I don't feel like, I mean, if we want to stay together for the kids, I'm not sure if that's going to work. Like bringing
That's
another...
what you told him?
Yes.
Okay.
Like having another baby, bringing us into this relationship, do you think this is going to work with us being together? Or separation, I think, is going to be the best possible route for us. And that's when like all the crying and everything proceeded, and it was very hard just to talk about that. But I needed to do it face to face.
Okay.
I wonder if maybe this will be revealed at some point in this investigation, but I truly wonder if he killed the kids first and then killed her. And he only killed her because she probably would have like gone to the police, obviously. Because based off of what he's saying right now, he's like, oh, like, do we really think it's a good idea to bring another kid into this relationship? And to me, I'm interpreting that as like, I don't want to have another kid. But because she's already 15 weeks and like she probably is like, I don't want to like get rid of this kid. Like, you know, we've already told the kids that we're having another baby. Like it doesn't make sense for us to be like, oh, I'm not gonna have a kid anymore. And like, also like her body, her choice. So if she wants to have a kid, she wants to have a kid. So I wonder if like, if he either killed her first and then the kids, but like probably honestly more than anything, probably like he probably killed the kids first, not thinking it through. And then was probably like, well, when she wakes up, she's gonna realize that like the kids are dead and somebody would have had to kill them. Or he killed her first and was probably going to dump her body and then realized that like, oh, it doesn't make sense for the kids to be at the house by themselves. So then he killed the kids and then was like, well, now I have to go dump these 3 bodies. So he probably put the kids into like one thing to dump their bodies and then took his wife separately and then went to go take their body. And then he was like, oh, I went to work. I wonder if there's a way that he can like, that his job can like corroborate his story, like with being like, if he was late. Because if he was late, then that would immediately like make sense of like, okay, you were late because you were getting rid of their bodies. Suspicious.
I needed to see her face, like, while I did it. I couldn't text, phone, whatever. I needed to be face to face and be able to see her and know that she was going to be at least reciprocating back to me.
What did she say?
She said that it was, she wanted to kind of work on it, but if that's the way I was feeling, then she respects that.
Also, the narrator did say too that he like willingly agreed to be interviewed, like to be interrogated essentially. And he only agreed to it, again, same thing for the same reason he did the news, which was that he only did it because he was like, I don't want to be suspicious. That's the only reason why he did that. If he had said no, they'd have been like, no, you're coming.
On my family. Is that just because you're worried based on the conversation with Nicole? Had the police contact you by then?
No.
Okay. I arrived. Sorry, go ahead.
But Nicole said she was probably going to call the cops.
Okay. All right. Now, so it sounds like Nicole's pretty worried. More worried than you.
Oh, so once she couldn't get anything out of her and nothing was going on in the house, I was like, all right, I gotta go home.
The sharp and sudden change of angle from baseline questioning to direct confrontation would normally make an innocent person refute or at least challenge the statement. There would also be a brief pause, as they would need time to process the allegation due to its perplexity. A guilty individual would already be in a defensive state of mind and would normally respond in a hastily modus. Instead of refuting the remark, they would accept it, but try and explain its actuality in a defensive manner.
But it sounds like Nicole was more worried.
Yeah, because like most of if she doesn't text me, like I understand that. Okay. Like sometimes that happens.
Okay.
But for her not to get back to her.
I feel like he is to some degree right about that, because although like they're going through a separation, I feel like if I was going through a separation with somebody, I would still be concerned. But I feel like it also makes sense that like he would be probably more pulled back. could have also been, I mean, clearly he was probably more pulled back in their relationship than she was if he was willing to kill her. And so it makes sense that he would be way more pulled back than she would be. And it makes way more sense too that like he wouldn't be like overly concerned because he's like, well, like she wants nothing to do with me and I want nothing to do with her. So like, you know, if Nicole, the friend, if Nicole is more concerned about my wife's whereabouts, then like whatever, like I don't care. Like at least somebody's concerned because like I don't really care, honestly. Like we're not married anymore. Like we're going through a separation, you know?
Okay. Direct sales group.
Okay.
That was very unorthodox.
Okay. So then they're at home. Police officers there.
Mm-hmm.
Then walk me through that.
So as we go through the house, we're all.
Do you immediately go through the house?
Like I open the garage door and I just go into the house. I'm looking. Like I just go in the garage door and I'm looking.
Is the police officer saying, "Hey, let me talk to you for a minute"?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
What's the vibe like?
I go up there, shake his hand, but I'm like opening the garage door at the same time.
Okay.
And then I go through, and then they're waiting at the front door. I go in, open that up, and then they come in.
Oh, so they didn't go in the garage door with you? Okay.
Well, they went in the garage. They didn't come in the way I did.
All right. So then everybody goes in.
I think that was at. And at 4 o'clock, that's when because the neighbor, the officer, I went over to the neighbor's house to see if he saw anything, and.
Whose idea was that?
I think it was the officer, because
okay.
he just went over there. And then that's when the neighbor called him back over to show him he had some stuff from the other night.
Okay.
Just show him like whatever he had that put motion on it.
Okay. 4 p.m. Police check neighbor security footage and question them as well. Okay. Have we talked about that? Is that where we're okay?
That's where we're at.
Anything else about that?
No, I mean it just.
I still think at that point, if I was the detective here in this situation, I'd have been like, what did they find on the security tapes? I would have gotten those security tapes as the police and been like, is there a way that you can give me this footage? Because to me, that's extremely suspicious that like those tapes literally caught homeboy leaving suspiciously with like going in and out of the house multiple times. Leaving and then not coming back until later when Nicole, the friend, was like, hey, homegirl's missing. Like, she's like not here. Like, is she okay? Like, I obviously, and that's also why your friend should have access like to your house, like at least like a spare key or something. Like, whenever I move into a home, my friends will always have access to my house. They will always have spare keys, just like certain friends and family. Like my sister will always have a spare key, right? Like there's certain people who will always have access to my house because I want to make sure that if something happens, like I will be okay. Does that make sense? Right? Does that make sense? Okay.
Dropping her off, but her not walking up. And it shows me loading my truck up at the time that I told you I left.
Okay. Can we talk about something that's kind of hard to talk about?
Storyboard Poro. What is this? Bye now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna bookmark it though, because I kind of don't want to watch the whole ad, and I'd rather just continue this video.
Investigations like this, I have to keep an open mind on everything. Okay. And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage, and the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. Okay. So you can understand what I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. Like, I know, like, I've talked to a few of my friends, is like, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like, if people knew that we were having marital issues.
I'm glad that the detective has finally come to his senses and is like, Hey, bestie. A little suspicious that you, killed your wife. It's a little weird. It was a little suspicious. Just saying.
Especially with the way everything
He didn't say that he killed her,
it
but
honestly just
he's
makes me
hinting.
sick to my stomach because this is something that I would never do.
He would never do. Never. Ever.
I
In
know,
his
like,
life.
you have to look at every vantage point. This is something I would never do to my kids or my wife. At all.
At all. Never. Ever.
This is what is known as the pause technique. After the suspect answers a question, the interrogator will remain silent while maintaining eye contact. This physical demeanor gives off the subtle cue that he expects more information to be divulged and may already know more than the suspect realizes.
I'm not sure, like, what I could do to, like, to make people believe that, just because if they knew we were having marital discord, they would automatically look at me. But there's no, I would harm anybody in my family.
Anybody
at all.
Not him. He's trying to pull emotion through his voice, and it's not working. Because I literally know people who do this, and they literally act like this. Like, they literally will, like, try to pull the emotion through their voice, and I would never do that. Never. I literally do it joking around with people. So, like, I, like, the fact that, like, I know that there are people who do this, like, in a very serious manner to, like, essentially, like, if the emotion's not there and, like, I'm not being convinced, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, okay, like, wow, thank you so much. You're literally trying to pull the emotion from every which way of your being. And you can, like, hear him faking. Like, I just want my family. I just want my family. And, like, when people usually talk like that, it's usually, like, in movies, when they're, like, really trying to, like, convey the emotion that they're trying to, like, portray. Like, crying and, like, being, like, you know, sad or upsetting electrical testing. Hold on. I just got an email from my complex for my dorm. Tomorrow at 5 a.m. maintenance will begin conducting electrical testing. Power will be shut down in 90-minute increments for each building. Testing will complete at 12:30 p.m. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Sincerely, Office of Housing and Residential Life. Cute. Wow. Well, I won't be there to experience it, so how fun.
I know we were having marital discord, and we had that conversation that morning, and then...
If he was smart, he would stop talking. He's not, though. Because obviously we know the pause technique. And also, too, I feel like in general, like, when people, like, stop talking in conversation, it makes you feel like you're like, I need to talk more because, like, they're not believing what I'm saying. So you feel like you have to say more. And so you're kind of like, yeah, like, I'll keep talking. Like, I don't care. It is what it is.
She goes, we have no idea where she is, or the kids. I promise you that I had nothing to do with any of that.
Are you telling me the truth?
I'm telling you the absolute truth.
I'm telling you the absolute truth.
Why should I believe you?
A truthful individual will normally respond to this question with a question, such as, why are you asking me that? Or, what's going on here? They will often protest the aggressive nature of the inquisition, or give a short and forceful response.
Because I'm a very trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, they know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I am a person who is...
Also, that's weird that he would say that too, because also the neighbor literally was like, I can literally hear them, like, yelling at each other. He's like, I'm not an argumentative person. Clearly, if your neighbor can hear you guys arguing some nights, like, yelling and screaming at each other, like screaming matches, babe, clearly you are an argumentative person. You are very much here for that.
Never going to be abusive or physical in any kind of relationship. I would never harm my kids. I would never harm my wife. I mean, you can talk to any of my friends, any of her friends. They know me. They know I'm a low-key guy that's quiet. So I'm not about confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level. I mean, you can tell, like, if someone like yells at me, screams at me, I just take it and I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's just a cool conversation to where, like, none of that gets to that height. Because I am not that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Okay.
I've never been that person.
Okay. Would you take a polygraph?
Sure.
Okay. Let's take a little break. I'm gonna come back in here because I have a lot more questions for you.
Oh, it's polygraph time, honey.
How you feeling?
It's polygraph time. This is gonna be good.
Looking at that picture. Find him. God.
I hate that he. I hate that he like looked at the officer or the detective and was like, "Gotta find him." And like looked at him like essentially like, "Am I doing it right? Like, am I like showing emotion the right way?" That literally is what that is. That's wild. Okay. Gotta find him.
Celeste. She's Rampage. She's always the one that's
Celeste, that's her name.
She's always the one that's just like, she's off. She's either go or sleep. She's always the one growling. She's always been, she's a tiger. Bella, she's the calm, the mothering one. She's the one that's always, you okay? You okay? You fine? Okay. She's just the sweetest little girl. She's the one that favors me more, and Celeste is the one that favors Jeanette more.
Oh, Jeanette.
I remember when they wore that dress. She just wore that dress not too long ago. I unbuttoned the back of it so I could get her pajamas on. She's like, "No, Daddy, button. I got button. I got button." I'm done loving
You know
those
what's?
granny strap
Hold on.
dresses.
I'll
She likes long dresses.
after this.
She was a girly girl.
She was the girly girl. Suspicious. Okay, part 2. Okay, before we start this, I think it's really odd too. Psychology is really weird, and I say that because there's some things about psychology that are like, they're super, super odd. Things like the fact that like instead of because he's like essentially somebody who's innocent, the narrative was like somebody who's innocent would essentially respond with like, why are you asking me that? Like would essentially like detest like that, like the assumptions and stuff. And it's really weird because there's also certain parts of psychology in like criminal cases and stuff where like that's what somebody who's guilty would also say of like, why are you asking me that? Like why are you assuming that I did this? You know what I'm saying? There's so many crazy things about criminal psychology and just about psychology in general about like what things make somebody more suspicious and less suspicious. And so like I really do truly feel like even if he had asked like, well, why are you asking me that? Like that would have also still made him look really guilty because I think to me in my eyes, if I'm interviewing somebody and like I'm like, what happened to your wife? What happened to Jeanette? Like what happened? What's the tea? you can really understand, like, from my point of view, like, you know, like, you're telling me this and, like, you know, all this other stuff, like, with marital problems and blah, 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 that, like, you know, something probably happened to her. And, like, you're the only person who was around her in the last couple hours. Like, so you know what I'm getting at. And it's like, I'd be like, if somebody responds to me with, like, why are you assuming that I would even do something this awful? Like, that is understandable of, like, why, like, somebody would be considered innocent, but also would, to me, be like, you're guilty. Immediately, I'd be like, you're guilty, because why would you get so defensive? I'm not saying that you killed her. I'm just saying that, like, you right now, like, you know, it's a little weird that, like, you were the only person that was around for, you know. Oh, here, let's take a quick break, because I do have to potty. I have to go potty really quick, so I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Here, I'll leave it playing for you guys. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna find him, right?
I need your help. When we find the guy who took him, what do you think we should do?
This is what is known as a behavior-provoking question. An innocent person will usually give what is known as a draconian response. They will immediately respond with the harshest sentence possible for the crime they are falsely being accused of committing. A deceptive individual will often give an equivocating response. This means that they will fragmentize and divert from the question to a certain degree, as a means to avoid responding to the query in its entirety.
They're gonna come home safe, correct? When you find the guy.
When we find the guy, they're gonna come home.
Life in prison would be that's what I would think with 2 kids that are involved.
What if he hurt them?
I'm not sure if, like, that penalty is even used. Is it used in Colorado? I'm not even sure.
What is?
The death penalty?
Okay.
I mean, like, if these kids are not alive, like, there's nothing you
The
can
detachment.
do to cope with that, to make me cope with that, if those kids are not okay.
Ooh, he's about to get caught.
Okay. Can we keep talking about some complicated things?
Sure.
Some things that are gonna make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You've done very good in talking to me about this really hard conversation you guys had, okay? Very good. That's sometimes hard. And I understand why sometimes someone in your position says, doesn't want to tell me about that. Because please go help me find my kids, and you don't need to know about my marriage argument, okay? So I gotta say, you've done very good at that. And I need you to keep doing that. So I need to ask you about your marriage and infidelity.
Sure.
Okay, tell me about it.
I have never cheated on my wife.
Okay.
And I fully suspect she has never done that to me.
Oh, okay.
The interrogator was already aware that Chris was cheating on his wife with a woman by the name of Nicole Kessinger.
Sir, why wouldn't you just tell the truth that you were cheating on her? You know what it probably was? It was probably that she found out. She probably had her suspicions, and that's probably like why they were going through a rough patch and why they decided to separate, maybe. Or that she had her suspicions and then she found out that he had been cheating on her for a really long time, and then he probably got angry and then killed her.
He had handed over his phone earlier on this interview for what he thought was for the purpose of going through his and his wife's mutual contacts to look for potential suspects. Judging by Chris's bold-faced denial, it's safe to assume he deleted all of his correspondence with Nicole beforehand. Yet he was most likely unaware that the FBI have programs that can recover every single piece of digital exchange sent from a device, even long after it's deleted.
Highly trained investigator over here, right? I see pictures of you from a few years ago, and I see you standing before me now. Okay, you've gotten pretty fit. Okay, you can imagine when guys start cheating or want to cheat, that's what happens.
Yes.
So tell me about it.
I did not cheat on my wife.
Okay. What do I do to help you walk out of this room and not look like the person who's responsible?
You have to trust me. I had nothing to do with this act of like evil cruelty, whatever has happened.
Ooh. He is literally self-incriminating. He is literally just doing it to himself at this point.
Because my love for these two girls and my wife, like, I don't want anything to happen to them. I've never wanted anything to happen to them. No matter if I want anything to happen to them, I've never wanted anything to happen to them. No matter if me and my wife separate or not, or divorce or anything, I never wish harm on anybody, on a human being in general.
Okay.
Like, just seeing that picture, like, I need them, I want them just to run through that front door and just grab me, or just barrel, just tackle me, knock me to the floor, bust my head, I don't care. The amount of love I have for my family is exponential, and it's never gonna die. And they need, I want them back.
Okay.
I have to have them back.
Lay down. Thank you.
When you walk out of this room, there's nothing I can say to a room full of police officers that's going to convince them that you have nothing to do with this.
I know.
You know what they think.
I know all that, yeah.
Here's a guy who didn't call 911, who woke his wife up at a ridiculous hour because he was so guilty about something that he had to get it off his chest and say, I don't love you anymore, I'm leaving you. That didn't go well.
Ooh. What is this? Oh, it's just royalty-free sons.
Okay, so what?
Everybody has those now.
She told me she wanted me to wake her up before I left. That's why I didn't just wake her up, like, just to tell her this. Like, I woke her up. That's what she wanted to do, and we talked. Like, usually at 4 a.m. I wake up, I go down and work out. This day, I wanted to talk to her about this. I love these girls. I love these girls so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than these kids. Nothing. Kids, that's your life. That's your lifeline. That's everything. Like, you make kids,
To just
come first.
make these kids. Sorry. Okay.
Kids, spouse, family. That's what it's always been.
Suspicious. I love that the detective just doesn't say anything. He just like keeps looking at this picture. He's like, he said, you know, and I know.
Nothing you've told me tonight makes sense.
Oh.
Nothing you've told me tonight feels like the truth.
Oh.
Can we start over?
Sure.
Tonight's been pretty intense, I can imagine. How are you feeling?
I've slept like 2 hours last night, so.
Ooh. Oh, this detective is... Oh, wow. He is only asking to start over to see if any part of his story changes. So that way when he goes to ask him a question again that he's low-key probably already asked, he's going to ask it like in a slightly different way. It's the exact same question, but to the suspect, it's going to seem like a completely different question. And so he's going to answer differently.
So I'm
Sorry.
like running on empty right now, but.
This is wild.
So
Oh my, Abu, I did not know you were there.
I'm sure
I
you
almost
don't
ran
mind
over
if we
your
take a
little
break for the night.
Lay down.
I'm sure that you are
Go to sleep.
feeling some of the pressure from me. Okay? I'm going to commit to you that we're not going to stop working until we find them. Okay? And I want to commit to you that there is going to come a time when you're going to feel this pressure from other people. I'm not the only one who thinks that there's a possibility you have something to do with this.
Like another FBI agent, like, pressure, or like just like.
Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone, Chris.
Okay.
The interrogator is clearly receptive to Chris's anxiety and endeavors to amplify this emotion before ending the interview. He wants to inflate Chris's apprehension as much as possible for the looming polygraph test that approaches the following day.
Tonight when you go home, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to pass out because you're so tired, okay? And that's probably not going to be what happens. Your head's going to go race, okay? So tonight when you lay down and your head starts racing, there's going to be things that come to your mind, okay? This always happens, always. It's very natural. You're going to say, I wonder why he asked me that, okay? You're going to say, screw him, how dare he accuse me, okay? You're going to say, I wonder if they thought of this, okay? And then you're going to say, I probably should have told him something, or this, or that, okay? Those are the most common things.
Or a
when those
guilty
thoughts come to your
suspect.
head, I want you to call me.
But not me. Call an ambulance, but not for me. One thing about me. See, you know what's crazy? People always ask and like talk about like, oh, like, do you think you could like pass a polygraph test? Here's the thing. They're not always 100. They're not the most accurate thing on this planet. Because certain questions bring up certain emotions, certain anxieties. So even if you were the victim of something, but people were like, oh, I think you're guilty, I think you're the one who did it, thinking about something, or even if you had no involvement at all whatsoever, people, if you ask a certain question, sometimes certain things bring up certain emotions, and you're like, ugh, I don't like that, like, this is wiggity wiggity whack. So it's just, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Also, let's make sure, hold on. Sometimes I have to make sure that I am actually live, because sometimes my emotions, and you're like, okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. Sometimes my streams don't like to actually play. Anywho, those.
And those are beautiful kids. Those kids have a good dad. And I know it.
Let's just say the picture that's on my phone.
Yeah.
It's a better one. But it's just, I'm sorry too.
Those kids have a good dad.
The following discourse from the officer could be construed as the reframing technique, where an interrogator will try and shift the suspect's view of themselves from negative to positive, as a means to lightening the iniquity of their crimes and increasing the chances of a confession. However, this is more likely what is known as passive accusation, where the interrogator is almost certain of the suspect's guilt and indirectly accuses, and in some manner, indignifies the suspect. This is made evident by the high praises the officer gives.
Also, it's crazy too, because sometimes people get lost in their lies, and it's like, first of all, people who lie and get lost in their lies, I'm really sorry, but how do you get lost in the lie that you told? That will never make sense to me. Because there are like people who have bullied me in my life, and like they'll say certain things, and like I would have lied straight to their face, and if they went to go ask me the same thing days, weeks, months later, I would still know the exact lie that I told them, and I'd be like, I told you like that this happened. Like, it's, how do you forget the lie that you told? Even like small things, right? Like there was one time when I was in elementary school, I got bullied, and this kid punched me. I said I will specify, because I was like, should I say his name or not? But I will say his name. His name was Alex, okay? He punched me in the stomach when I was in middle school. I didn't lie about him punching me in the stomach, but I did, mind you, this kid did bully multiple other people. I did happen to lie, though, and say that he had done the same thing to somebody else prior, which wasn't a complete lie. He did essentially like shove somebody like on the playground and like bully somebody else before. But I was the one who he actually punched in the stomach and was told to get off the swings. It was literally like straight out of a movie. And I was like literally crying, and somebody was like, what's wrong? And I was like, Alex punched me in the stomach and told me to get off the swings. I was like, bro, I was sobbing. It hurt really bad too. Honestly, honestly, I've gotten bullied so much in my life. Dude, how do I deal with this? Anyways, it's giving therapy.
A lot of dads don't get second pairs of clothes and cook eggs and give them snacks at night. You know, a lot of men, that's woman's work, right?
I like to get involved.
But you're not that kind of guy. Okay. So can we say that tomorrow at 11 o'clock?
Okay.
We can do a polygraph?
Here.
Here. I appreciate you coming in tonight. All right, give me 2 seconds.
Enjoying his last few days of freedom.
Did you meet Tammy yesterday?
No,
okay. Tammy.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Sit on this?
Yep, I know. I'll explain what that is here in a little bit, but you don't have to worry. It's not on or anything right now. It's not gonna buzz you or anything.
See China before communism.
Obviously, you're probably nervous about taking today's test. Honestly, I would think something is wrong with you if you weren't nervous about coming in here to take a polygraph. Even if people are like, I don't have anything to hide, it is nerve-wracking.
It is because it's only nerve-wracking because it can read your response wrong, and if it reads your response wrong, your response wrong, people can interpret that as like you
I
lying.
have taken tons of polygraphs. Obviously, in my training, I went to 10 weeks for training. I've been a polygrapher for about 5 years. I went to the best school in the country. So I want you to have confidence in the fact that if you had nothing to do with this disappearance, like we're going to find that out today, okay? I have the best training that they offer in the United States. We use the most validated testing. That's the way I'm going to ask you the questions. So believe me, if you had nothing to do with this, I will be able to show them that today.
This is psychological pressure disguised as reassurance. It's not a routine procedure during the pre-test phase of a polygraph exam, yet this technique will be used when the suspect's guilt...
I'm back. I was driving home. What'd I miss? How did Tone Dude get caught? Oh, he isn't caught yet. We're watching his polygraph test right now. We're watching his polygraph test, so we're going to see if he's actually telling the truth or not. We're going to find out right now. Yeah, this is the same guy. This is the same guy. We're going to find out. He essentially gave this whole story to the cops and was like, I had nothing to do with it. Woe is me. And then the cop asked, the cop was like, oh, like, I want you to tell me about, like, any infidelity. And homeboy was like, I would never cheat on her. Mind you, he literally handed his phone to the cops earlier, and they literally went through his phone and, like, found that, like, he had, in fact, cheated on her. And it was just really, really funny. So, yeah, really fun times. 10 out of 10, I highly recommend. What a time to be alive.
Is almost conclusive. Polygraphs are not a foolproof system, and they can be beaten. But with a heightened state of anxiety, it becomes considerably more challenging and unlikely. On this occasion, the polygrapher distinctly applies this technique for maximal effect.
There's actually only 2 ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. You know, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today, right? Like, it would be really dumb. Like, you should not be here right now sitting in this chair if you had anything to do with Shanann and the little girl's disappearance, okay?
But yeah, like, everything flourished from there. Like in 2011, I proposed to her over in Ocean Isle Beach.
Sir, you're already giving...
And she was just sitting there crying with a little eviction notice, and she recorded it.
He's kind of an idiot, because he's already giving all this information, and if that was me, I would literally, like, not if that was me, but, like, literally, it just is dumb for him to give all this information. I need to put this water over here, because it's kind of in a stupid spot. I can't see chat.
It was an amazing day just to see that, and then she left. I was there, like, she had a midwife for this one, so, like, they actually had me, like, you can stand here and, like, you know, catch her, and, like, but Celeste came out, like, so fast that, like, I barely had a chance to go like this, and they moved me out of the way because she just, like, came out.
The polygrapher will also obtain the examinee's version of the facts regarding the specific issues under investigation.
I was just hoping that I would get that knock on the
Sorry,
door,
go back. I was just looking at the clock as... Look at the clock. It's really cool when it speeds up. Watch.
The polygrapher will also obtain the examinee's version of the facts regarding the specific issues under investigation.
He talked for like 25 minutes.
That knock on the door for a phone call or a text. I mean, her phone, I mean, they have her phone, like hopefully maybe it's a number I don't know. Hopefully it's like, you know, like a burner phone or some kind of like phone she bought, and she could just text me and call me like, hey, I'm okay. Something. Or just get a knock on the door and then the kids just run in. I miss like the kids like sitting at the dinner table and like having to tell them to eat their dinner, and like I miss them throwing the chicken nuggets at me. Like I just want to find them.
Sir, oh my god, his story is so ugh.
I really hope they can just come home. It makes me feel like, all right, maybe somebody has her that's not keeping her safe, or something terrible has happened, and that's the nightmare.
He probably went home and like looked up like how to pass a polygraph test and like how to not look guilty in a murder and like all this other stuff. He probably looked at all these things. And if he didn't, he's a ding dong.
Somebody hurt them.
Chris recounts a brief summary of the events and states multiple vague possibilities for his family's disappearance. The polygrapher then starts to elect specific timelines for Chris to give his account on.
You said the next thing you know is her getting into
bed
with you. Is that right?
I felt her getting into bed.
Okay. If you're leaving, you're not coming back.
Okay.
Go.
Do you know if she was on her phone or like how any of that works?
I don't think she was on her phone.
Was she mad?
My dog is the most frustrating dog on this
being crying like she was,
okay?
crying like I was. I mean, yeah, I mean, she was upset, but I mean, it comes with that kind of conversation.
In the next moments, you will see another subterfuge of psychological pressure, this time disguised as routine questioning procedure.
And I know it's totally awful to think about, but what are ways, because I need to make sure that you know what I'm talking about, what are ways that you can make someone disappear?
I mean, like, if you're talking about like what I've seen like on the movies, or like how people, if you read about other people, I mean, you hire somebody.
Like a hitman?
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Nope, that's what I want. That's what I want, because I want you to go through all of these scenarios in your head.
She is so smart. I love her. She is, what's her name? I didn't catch her name, but I love her. Wow, she really doing her job. I really like her. She really, props to her. Props to this girl. Because she, also if he was smart, he would have just been like, I truly have no clue. Like, someone who is innocent can usually give such specific recollections of what happened that day because it's traumatizing and they're worried. Yeah. He's so odd. He's so untrustworthy. Ugh, I hate him. Because also if he was innocent, he would have just been like, oh, like, I have no clue. Like, I do think it's smart of him that he did bring up, like, oh, like, are you talking about, like, in movies and, like, TV shows? Because, like, that's really, like, the only way I know that somebody could, like, go missing is, like, if someone hired a hitman or, like, whatever. Like, you know, like, you see in movies and TV shows, like, someone, like, very sloppily, like, tries to, like, get rid of someone's body by, like, killing them, like, dumping them in an ocean or something like that. Or, like, they, like, dump it in a nearby lake. Like, they're willing to drive somewhere nearby to get rid of the body and then, like, do that. Because they're, like, all was normal that morning. We had breakfast, took the kids to school, went here, did this, we texted, etc., etc. That's literally, oh my god, me and my dog are gonna fight. Hold on, give me 1 second. Are you staying in or are you staying out? You're staying in. Cool, great. When you go to get up again, don't, okay? Stay where you are. I will turn the heater towards you so you're warm, okay? Lay down. Please and thank you. Lay down. Thank you. Hey, thank you. Such a good boy. Wow. Or he'd be getting on my nerves.
Because I want you to know for sure what I'm talking about when I say that, you know, asking you if you physically caused her disappearance.
Okay, like you'd hire murder somebody, or you have somebody you know that would do it. I mean,
It's just so out of the blue. This is normal behavior. She up and leaves like this all the time. Yeah, see, if you could have said something like that, like, they probably would have been like, oh, okay, like, whatever, like, that's valid. But, like, since she just up and left out of nowhere, it's a little sus.
And I know this.
Oh. This is actually kind of cool. Maybe I'll get one of these. Hold on. I'm going to bookmark this for later. Girl! Oh, I have to back the project. I'm not trying to do all that. I'm still going to bookmark it, though, so that way whenever it, you know, is a thing, I can get it.
That's a hard question to answer.
Right.
Because it had nothing to do with this disappearance.
Right.
But, like, I don't even want to think about, like,
right.
If you're asking,
yeah,
like,
you had nothing to do with this.
Like,
No, anyone. Like, how would anyone cause someone else's disappearance?
I mean, you would.
You could cause someone's disappearance by murdering them. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So what different physical ways could you cause someone's disappearance through murder? You could stab someone, right?
Stab someone, shoot someone, hit them with a blunt object.
Not the TikTok coffee in those fragile ass glass cups.
I mean, use a weapon like gun or knife.
Look, well, I mean, maybe the glass is like really good, you know? Maybe it's really good. Maybe it's like, I don't know, like maybe it's like good glass. Maybe it's good glass. I don't know. Cautious not to mention actual causes of death. Strangulation of wife, smotheration of daughter. He smothered his daughters? And strangled his wife?
You could smother someone. You could strangle someone.
Hang someone. I mean, yeah, you can, all that kind of things. I mean, it's hard
Ooh,
to even think about that kind of
he like didn't want to mention that one.
stuff right now.
Mm-hmm. So you could strangle someone, you could drown someone.
Yeah.
You could shock.
At this point, they probably already found their bodies. And they're like, she was literally asking these questions. She's like, how would you kill someone? How could it be done?
Knock someone dead.
Yes, smothered.
Burn someone alive. What other ways can you think of?
Honestly, I like to think that I would be able to... I like to think that I'd be able to survive being smothered. I've thought about it so many times. I'm like, if somebody like tried to like smother me, like suffocate me, I like to think that I would be fine. And I say that because I feel like I know how to breathe and I know how to hold my breath really well. So if somebody ever tried to smother me or strangle me or like suffocate me, I feel like I know how to hold my breath. Like, I would be stressed out, but I like to think that in those situations that I would have enough ability in my brain to be like, calm down, just hold your breath. Just hold your breath until they think that you're dead and just like keep wiggling. And then wait for them to get off of you, or like wait for them like you like slowly stop moving, but like you're holding your breath. And so like, and then like you like, you know, you're good. And then you're like lifeless for a second or whatever. And then you like let them get off of you. You let them like stop holding the blanket over your face or the pillow or whatever. And then you're good. You know? And you're just like, oh no, I'm dead. And then you wake back up and you go to the police and you like see who tried to kill you. And you call the police and you're like, this person just tried to kill me. And then and they probably do actually really do kill you. You know?
As far as like lure them into a trap, I guess.
What do you mean? What?
Like, you know, like have somebody waiting like around the corner and like, you know, hey,
Sure.
Following answers: hit by car, kidnapped, locked in a room, poisoned, beaten into a coma.
They're in a coma.
Sure.
What are you doing?
So if I ask you that question on the test, Chris, are you gonna have any issue with that? About you
Like-
physically
like
causing
going through every single one of
disappearance?
those.
Yeah, like that would be a way
Okay.
you could cause someone's disappearance.
Okay. No, I can definitely like I can pass. I mean, I.
Or you could murder them, you could kidnap them, you could take them to another country, you could, you know, bury them in your backyard. You could do a million things.
Yeah.
As far as trying to.
I love that she's like, are you going to pass this polygraph test? I need to know this now because I'm not about to waste my time, babes.
Conceal them.
Yeah.
Right? So that no one can find them.
Yes.
Because at this point, she's gone. So when I ask you the question on the test, I'm not asking you about guilt. I'm not asking you about, did you make her feel so horrible that she ended up leaving? I'm saying that you were the one that physically caused her to disappear.
Okay.
Either by murder, kidnapping, you know, all of those other things that we went through, okay?
You want me to list? You want me to list all those like?
No.
Okay.
You're just gonna say no to that question.
Okay.
Right. When I ask you if you physically caused Shanann's disappearance,
Okay.
your answer should be what?
No.
Right. So do you have any issues with that at all, and
No.
have any question about what I would mean when I was?
No,
would be
that's
asking
total.
that
Like I just like going through all those that. That's
Right.
a lot to really think about.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I bet that would be a lot to think about, wouldn't it, Chris?
I'm gonna have you take a bathroom break. We've been in here quite a while. So you're gonna be taking what's called a directed lie polygraph. So what that means is there are gonna be questions on the test where I want you to lie. I know it seems kind of weird, but you're gonna know which questions these are, and they're gonna be easy to answer. They're all gonna start with before 2018.
The directed lie test has 3 types of questions. Known truth questions. These are easy questions to answer, such as, are you sitting down? Or, are you wearing shoes? They serve 2 purposes. The first purpose is to provide a baseline reading for when the subject is telling the truth, and should elicit very little bodily responses. The second purpose is to disconnect the examinee's thought patterns between each question as a means for resetting their cerebration for a more accurate reading. Control questions. These are what the polygrapher just explained to Chris. Whenever she says, before 2018, at the start of a question, Chris will know he is purposely supposed to lie. Each of these questions are deliberately constructed that all answers will be responded with no. Relevant questions. These relate specifically to the crime being investigated, and the examinee will know that they are supposed to respond to. Show a much stronger reaction.
Okay, I need to turn this fan off. Sorry if you guys can hear it.
The control questions, even though they will be lying on both of them. This is due to the immediate threat posed by the relevant questions.
So I'm gonna say before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about? And you're gonna say
no,
because you're telling a
lie.
Awesome. The test is about to begin. Please remain still. Did you write the number 1?
No.
Did you write the number 3?
No.
Did you write the number 5?
No.
This portion of the test is complete. Please remain still while I take the instrument out of
We can't
operation.
hear your fan. Oh, you can't? Perfect.
Okay, you can relax. How'd you feel?
This is the last time the polygrapher will have any correspondence with Chris before the real test.
I hate ads. Maybe I will pay for YouTube Red. This is whack.
Begins. She gives him an initial compliment in a reassuring tone.
You did great. You remembered to lie and everything. That was awesome.
You remembered to lie and everything. I love that. That's honestly kind of funny.
This momentary boost in his confidence is then abruptly ripped away as he receives the following information.
So, you obviously are a really bad liar. Have people told you that before? Like, the second you tell a lie, like, they can tell, like, on your face that... Because the second you lied to the number 3, like, I don't know if you heard me clicking, but I had, like, turned down the sensitivity because you were starting to go off the page. So, that is what I need to see as the polygrapher, because that tells me that you know it's wrong to tell a lie. And you're actually having us.
I can't wait till he's caught for this. I mean, we all know, but.
For being a liar. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We don't want to be good liars, so thank you for being a horrible liar. And that just shows me that, you know, obviously on the test when they're asking, you know, significant stuff about your wife, if you're lying to that, it's going to be even 10 times more info.
This is so funny. Thank God you can't hear this fan. All right, I'm turning it back on
that
then.
very much, more than you know. So that was awesome. And the coolest thing about this is right now, there's only one person in this room that knows what the truth is. And in about 5 minutes, there's going to be 2 of us. So that's the coolest part, okay? And then I can go share that, but then not.
She's making this sound like it's a positive thing. She's like giving like that positive reassurance, which is like really good because she's obviously being like, oh, like, and the really cool thing about this is like it's super fast. So like we'll be done in like 5 minutes, like whatever. And he's probably thinking to himself, I can get away with lying fast enough. Like, whether I know the truth or not, I can get away with lying or not. Like, I know for a fact I can get away with it if I just think fast enough and I just, like, whatever the answer or whatever the question is, like, I'm gonna, like, I'll know. I'll know immediately.
All right, you ready?
Do it.
The test is about to begin. Please remain still. Do you understand I will only ask you the questions we have discussed?
Yes.
Regarding Shanann's disappearance, do you intend to answer all of the questions?
Oh, her name's Shanann. I was calling her Jeanette.
Yes.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever lose your temper with someone you cared about?
No.
Did you physically cause Shanann's disappearance?
No.
Were you born in 1985?
Yes.
Before 2018, did you ever say anything out of anger to a loved one?
No.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Are you now in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Before 2018,
I still can't get over the fact that this happened in Colorado. Okay.
you ever wanted to hurt someone to get even with them?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
She was looking at him because she was like, because he had a little emotion in his voice. Do you know where Shanann is now? No. And she was like, do you know where Shanann is?
Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. All right, how'd you feel? Same as all of it?
I think it was the same through everything.
For ya. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I didn't forget part of it, didn't I?
The same detective from yesterday. He's gonna be like, so you lied. And that is gonna be my favorite part about this whole thing. So you lied.
Program in here because we want to talk to you about the results, okay?
Okay.
So, it is completely clear
Papa.
that you were not honest during the test.
You wanna come up here?
You already know that.
Okay, I have to turn off the
You did not
fan,
pass
okay?
the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Chris,
I know.
Chris, stop. It's time.
I'm
Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath right now.
Right? Isn't that wild that he literally is sitting there like he didn't kill his wife and his kids? Isn't that wild? And he's sitting there like he didn't do anything at all. He's sitting there like he's perfectly fine. Like he's like, oh, I didn't do this. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Hey, you okay? Okay. Go back to sleep. Stop it. Stop it. Lay down. Go back to sleep. Okay, part 3. Part 3. It's time. It's time for him to get his just reward. It's time for justice.
Brendan, you're not fat. It's the shirt. Look at
Oh.
me. Hit your class.
I just feel... Oh my god. What even did he do that for? What, kill his wife and kids? I guess we're about to find out. I genuinely want to know why he did it.
Polygraph, I promise. Chris, I know. Chris, stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath.
It's time.
I want you to take a deep breath right now.
He said, take a deep breath.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell.
Oh, are you talking about the slap? I think it's for like that weird, it's like a compression shirt that essentially like helps like your figure look a little bit better, like especially like for men, because they're like, oh, like I look fat in this shirt, and it's like, no, you don't look fat. It's a shirt that makes you look like that, right? It's like the same thing with like certain jeans, like where some people are like, oh, like I don't have an ass in these jeans, like this, like these, like I look like these jeans. I don't have an ass. And then people are like, no, you need to put these jeans on because I've seen you in other clothes and you do have an ass. It's literally just the pants that you're wearing right now. And then they put on different clothes and suddenly like their curves are showing, like everything that like needs to be accentuated. What? What, Baba? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Oh, him just want to lay on me.
On your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just
I also want to know why he did it. Her.
This is a technique known as social exchange.
Wait, what did she say?
I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this.
This is a technique known as social exchange, an interpersonal persuasion strategy in which the interrogator provides the suspect with a psychological reward in return for the information they need. In this case, she's trying to convince Chris that the alleviation of mental weight is a worthy trade for a confession. She does this in a manner that protects his self-esteem by giving him appreciative reinforcements.
And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today. And you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what? I just need to get this off my chest.
Everything that I've told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now. Like, I did not.
Sir.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph. So I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now.
It's the way he's still trying to like lie his way out of that. Like, she's so good, isn't she? I love her. I love that he's still trying to lie his way out of this. That he's like, I wouldn't even be able to face someone like that. No, literally. If somebody was like, I know, like, she literally is like, you failed the polygraph test. And he's like, I did not lie. And she's like, okay, so you most defo did. She's like, the test doesn't lie. And it's smart though that because essentially at the beginning, or like before she even like did the test with him, she literally told him like, this is like the best software, the best equipment, like I went to the best school in the country, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like essentially trying to say like, there's no way that I can interpret this data wrong. Like nothing, like the only way that anything's going to come back is if you're lying. And Boo, you need to lay down, bud. You make so much noise, Baba. Come here.
The following tactic is called the futility technique, a building block to induce a sense in a suspect that any resistance on behalf of their cause is futile due to the overwhelming evidence against them. This was obviously not the case,
You hear
as
him.
polygraphs are not admissible evidence, and Chris was in fact still free to leave at this point.
That's the issue right now. Okay, so let's talk about that. I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like, okay. I'm not like trying to like cover things up. Like,
yeah, but you kind of are because it's normal.
Want me to put you
This
down?
is no longer an interview to collect
sit on the
information.
bed, or
The
do you want to
steps
sit
of
on the
asking
blanket?
questions and
Lay down.
receiving answers is over, and the interrogators are now in the process of leading the suspect into a state of mental exhaustion. The detectives will attentively watch for denials and stop them before they can be voiced. Letting the suspect deny his guilt will only increase his confidence and prolong his cerebral stamina.
Normal people would do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about, I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris. Like, don't let this continue any longer, please.
I'm not trying to make anything continue. Like, I want them
This
back
man is
home.
so useless.
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But you know they're not.
Chris, Tammy and I are confused. Okay. And here's what we're confused about. I told you that we've done some work overnight.
Yeah.
I told you that we've got a lot of leads. Okay, that wasn't a lie.
I know.
We know a lot more than you think we do. Okay.
The dossier technique is a variant of the futility technique, the only difference being that the detectives are far more cryptic and often deceptive about the evidence they have. This will hint at things in a vague manner for the purpose of escalating a suspect's uncertainty.
Where are they?
I don't know where they're at.
He is such an idiot. At this point, I think that would have made me like fold immediately. I would have been like, okay, well, since you know everything. And I would have just told the truth at that point. Literally, you failed the polygraph test before wasting people's time, because he obviously thought that he could pass it. He obviously thought that he wouldn't get caught. And so if that was me, I would have just told the truth. And I would have just been like, look, here's what happened. I did X, Y, Z and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. I would have just did that. I would have just told the truth. But he's an idiot. He is cocky. His ego is large, which is really crazy too, because obviously like the detective literally the night before literally like boosted homeboy's ego by being like, you're a great father, like you're not that kind of husband, you would never hurt them, you just want them to come home, you care about them so much. So he obviously got into his head that he was like, yeah, like that is who I am as a person. It also could be that he is having, there's a specific type of amnesia which I obviously don't think that this is the case for him, but there are cases of amnesia where people do something really awful and then their brain purposely forgets about it. It's like essentially like a trauma amnesia kind of thing. Because like killing somebody is a really traumatic experience, whether you wanted to do it or not. Like sometimes your brain will forcefully get rid of that information because you're like, I don't really want to remember this. So that way, like when you get questioned, it's easier to forget. It's easier to say like, oh no, I don't know this, because your brain genuinely doesn't remember it, because it kind of doesn't. It has amnesia. So it's like, oh, I don't know. Where did little fuzzy ass go? He disappeared again. I don't know where he went. I'll be right back. I have to keep
where they're at.
Yeah, I hope they come back to haunt him. Same.
If I could have my babies back home right now,
I'll be right back.
I want them back. I want everybody back. That is the God's honest truth.
Although the detectives want to intensify Chris's psychological stress levels, they do not want him to become reactively agitated, as this could lead him to objecting and resisting every step of the way, and the interrogation will never get off the ground. It also significantly increases the chances of him requesting legal counsel and ending the interrogation outright. This elicits the interrogator to change approach and utilize what is known as the ego-up technique, where the detective will build on the self-respect of the suspect through positive reinforcement.
It is very surprising to me, and it warms my heart that you're the type of dad who can pack a bag in the morning, and you know just what to put in there. You know just what to put in there as a backup in case they have an accident, okay?
With Create Studio Pro, you can create amazing 3D character explainers just like Pixar, and you never
know what the clothes to put in there. You know what they have for breakfast. You know what they have for a snack, and a dinner, and a nighttime snack. You can tell me the book you read to your daughters, okay? I know you love them, but you aren't here today lying cheated on her. I know. And this is very good.
I saw her, took my breath away, and I never thought in a million years that could happen.
I know.
I never felt that way about anybody in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not proud of it. She accused me of it. I denied it.
At least he lurking for a bit. I'm in a meeting. Okay, word.
I cheated on her, and I feel horrible for it. Like, she was pregnant, and it was. I don't want to. I didn't hurt her.
You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth because you're a truth teller. I don't think this girl.
Because you're a truth teller. That is so funny, but also like so smart that they're like, yeah, you're telling the truth. Kind of. Not all of it yet. But she will.
Anything to hurt anybody. When you leave her out of it, okay, get back to your wife and your daughters.
Okay.
Where are they?
That I do not know. That was what I was holding back. Like, I didn't know, like, what I did. I know.
Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about.
I was holding back from last night.
That's not why you failed today.
Oh!
I don't know how that works.
Here's the challenge that we have.
That's not how that works, babe. She said, unfortunately, honey, that's not how this works. That's not how this
We knew
goes.
about making it, so we didn't need to ask you about her in the polygraph. We just didn't need to, because we knew, okay? And so that's why we didn't ask you, because we already knew the answer, okay? We're very, very worried about your daughters and your wife. I am too. This should have been the happiest time of your marriage. Okay? You and Shanann. This should have been the happiest time. She's making a little money. She's making good money. You're making great money. You both have a job. You have beautiful kids. You have a beautiful house. You're in Colorado. Clean air, good people.
Not clean air, good people. I love. Oh, I didn't have the captions on this whole time. I feel bad. Oh, not clean air, good people though. That is honestly the funniest thing to me. That the detective said, "You're in Colorado. Clean air, good people." I love that description of Colorado because for the most part, it is true. I think we actually do have some like the best air in the country. Aside from like, a couple other places like, like Alaska has really good air. There's like other places, but we have really good air. Although it's really thin up here because we're a mile above the rest. It is still one of my favorite things that people were like, yeah, no, like clean air, good people. I'm gonna use that as my new tagline every time somebody comes in here. Everybody, welcome this person. Welcome to the community. Clean air, good people. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I'm gonna have to reference this video every single time.
Okay, and on top of that,
oh my god,
you look pretty good now. You're pretty fit. Okay.
Oh, hold on.
This should have been a time in your marriage where you guys were happy and thriving and productive. Okay, and I believe that Shanann's the reason none of that happened.
This is called the how and why solution, a technique that allows the suspect to admit a lesser act and blame the victims, while at the same time minimizing the crime and motivations of his actions.
I believe that she's a controlling person. Maybe doesn't listen to you as much as she should. I think that she can do whatever she wants and you can't. Okay? I think if you were to go to a restaurant, she would order whatever the hell she wants. And as soon as you order a nice steak, she says, whoa, buddy. That's because you're a good person. And I think that she started on the path to leave.
I love how this is honestly one of the best. I feel like this is a really good depiction of good cop, bad cop. In terms of like, because I think she's supposed to be the bad cop here. He's obviously being like, you're a good person. Like, you are an amazing human being. And like, I feel like your wife was the issue. And then every single time, like, he says a lie, she's like, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. And you know that because she did the polygraph test. So she can essentially be like, that's not the truth. That's not, no. And so that's what's crazy to me is I think that this is a really good depiction of what a good cop, bad cop situation looks like, especially because I feel like TV and movies depicts it as like, one of them always like constantly being like, no, like it's okay, and the other one's like, shut up, like slapping the other, like slapping their suspect around and stuff like that. And that's like not the case here. Like it literally is just like, she's like, absolutely not. Like, no, like I just did your polygraph check. You failed. You really thought that you were going to pass and you didn't.
Like that we're talking about you and Nikki. I think that she was the one who started on that path first. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't have thought about that.
Okay. And the other thing I think is interesting is, even though she is that type of person that's controlling, doesn't listen, does what she wants, is walking away from her kids, here you are defending her. Because to your core, you want to take care of the people you love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's the reason why we want to give you an opportunity today.
To tell the truth.
To just help us find them. Okay. Chris, right now your dad's outside. He flew across the country to help you. Okay. You're lying to him. You're lied to everyone you talk to. And they all bought it. Will you please help us find your babies?
I want to find them. I've told you over and over, I want to find everyone.
He's doing that like forced emotion thing again, and it's irritating my soul. I hate it.
And then some of this just doesn't make sense to us. How is it possible that a woman and 2 kids are just completely gone off the face of the earth?
I promise you, I have nothing on my hands I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish.
As the interrogation goes on, the constant and relentless psychological pressure essentially puts Chris at the edge of his ability to function cognitively. It's a slow and methodical process of breaking down his resistance while maintaining a balance of pugnacious and reassuring psychological techniques.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days.
There's one thing you need to do before you buy.
I knew that somebody was going to mention it eventually, because this entire time he's been trying to force emotion. He's been trying to force emotion this entire time and has failed miserably. He has failed miserably this entire time at trying to force that emotion. Idiot. Idiot. Idiot.
And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds, and I start to go panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all. Help me understand that.
I love those girls.
It's
I
also...
would never do any just because I haven't shed a tear.
Yeah, no, that's weird. Is that weird?
Don't look into that like I don't love my
well,
kids.
tell
I love
me,
my wife.
explain to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her.
Yeah.
But you don't cry that your 2 little baby girls.
I'm hoping they're still around somewhere. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
In the next moments, you will see step 7 of the Reed interrogation technique known as the alternative question, where the suspect is given an alternative and far more morally acceptable choice for what happened.
Chris, did Shanann do something to them?
No, I don't know.
I'm serious.
I have no clue.
No, you would have known, because they didn't leave the house. Did Shanann do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
Oh, Shania.
They were at the house when I left. They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished.
You telling me that God just made him disappear? He said, Alakazam, honey. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, and if Alakazam is the magic word, honey, 200 viewers right now, Alakazam. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the crazy part.
The only way they could have left is in your...
1,000 subscribers right now, Alakazam. You know?
Something happened in the house that you know about.
Something happened.
That something happened to all.
Something happened, babe.
But I want to know, Did something happen to these baby girls first that you had to take into your own hands? I feel like that's the type of guy that you are.
Chris, this is a weight that's going to be on you for the rest of your life until we resolve it tonight. Unless we can talk about this more tonight, it's going to follow you forever. I promise you, when you start talking to us, you will feel better.
Chris, we're giving you a lifeline right now. You need to take it. You need to reach out and take it. Chris, you took them out of the house with their blankets and their animals. And that's because you cared. That's what a caring dad does. And you either cleaned up after Shanann or you made the mistake. And I mean, I want to believe that maybe Shanann.
Sorry,
did
chat.
it and
Stream went down for like 2
you
seconds.
felt compelled to fix this so Shanann didn't look bad.
Is it Shanann or Shania?
That's what I want to believe. But I don't know. You're not telling me that, so it makes me think the worst. Like, did you do that to all three of them?
I
Like,
did not do anything to these kids. Not do anything.
what did Shanann do to them? Tell us, Chris. Chicks are crazy.
What's crazy is that he has to know. What's crazy is that he has to know that they know the truth. But he obviously is not willing to confirm anything, because them solely knowing the truth and them solely being like, oh, you know, you're lying to us, isn't enough for them to put him in prison or / in jail.
Bring him in here?
No, I just can't talk to my dad. Like, he flew across the country.
Hey, Chris,
I can't.
how about this? If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened?
And you need to realize that your dad is not going to stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child, and he will not stop loving you.
Never.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story. At all. Okay. Hey, Chris, we're going to let you have however much time you need, okay?
Sure. You gonna leave us in there or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us what's going on with me, or?
And this, polygraph, failed it. Yeah, cause there's
too much emotions. Anything else you want to tell me? What's going on?
Top 10 mistakes that I see beginner videographers making. Number 1 is using the wrong camera settings, not knowing how to properly set their ISO, aperture, shutter speed, and frame rates. Number 2 is out of focus images, not knowing the key.
Sorry, I got distracted.
when we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional and told her about separation and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. What happened after that?
I mean, I went downstairs. I want to protect her.
What?
I want to protect her.
You don't want to protect her?
I don't know what else to say.
Huh? She hurt him?
Yeah. And
What now?
tell her.
You hurt her? What?
Just feel it.
You smell it? Or choking?
I didn't hear anything. And then when I was downstairs, I came back up. They were gone. Talking about separation and everything about, and
She lost her.
I don't know, like, what else to say, like, I freaked out. Those are my kids. I heard like a little commotion.
It's odd that he's talking about his kids in this way of like she did this. But earlier he was like, if something happened to them, he knows what happened to them. He probably, I feel like he did obviously for sure kill them. I feel like I know for a fact that this man definitely killed his kids and his wife, but he's literally just trying to lead on that like she did something. And that he had to essentially, he killed her because she killed them. Which could be the truth, but he hasn't told the truth this entire time, so I'm not willing to believe that.
Went back upstairs and she was there. I could see like she was on top. Choking like that. Did she kill him? There. There, blue. Both of them. Yeah. She choked both of them with that. I freaked out when she hit me.
Mm.
Rage.
What's that?
Less than 10 seconds after the mention of the word lawyer, the detectives re-enter the room and immediately reinforce Chris with non-verbal empathic communication. They immediately divert Chris's attention from the well-informed advice of his father to their own appreciative reception of his contemporary admittance.
Chris, help us work through this with you, okay? Will you tell us what you told your dad?
She was in there with her. On top of her. Freaked out. I ran in there and got on top of her.
What'd you do?
Blue. Holding my babies. Holding my kids.
What happened?
In there.
Although not the full avowal they are pursuing, Chris has still confessed partly to the crimes, and they now have one foot in the door. He is no longer free to leave. The interrogation now returns to a non-suggestive process where the
I love true crime because now that he's confirmed that he killed his wife, all they have to do now is get him to confirm that he also killed his kids. Because I'm like, it's a little suspicious that like, why would she just randomly kill the kids and like, and then
detectives will collect further information where they will not contaminate with excessive or direct input.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm shaking. Both my kids are blue and they're gone. So horrible for what I did. I don't know what to do.
That's the hard part. We have left details where they're at.
You have to get them out of the cold. At that first location I went to that day. I don't know what to do.
I know.
I didn't know what to fucking do. Like none of this.
It's weird that he didn't know what to do. Why wouldn't you just call the police? Because if he had called the police and explained the situation and like him being frantic, it's odd. So that he just took them, buried Shanann's body, dumped his kids' bodies in a freaking oil rig, and just called it good. Which also isn't like putting bodies in oil, isn't that like the worst thing to do? Because like the bodies don't decay that fast in oil. So like isn't that a thing? Hold on. Okay, yeah, this is literally what. Okay, hold on. I'll show you what I looked up to. I said, does oil stop bodies from decaying? I'm using Quora. It's probably not the most whatever. But I want to read the one that I just saw. Oh, maybe it was one of these two. Okay, I don't know if there's been any research in this, but my guess would be the exact opposite, that petroleum oil, as opposed to vegetable oils, would retard the decomposition of corpses. My reasoning is that oil is toxic to most organisms, so that the bacteria and insects that normally cause decomposition would not be able to do so. Yes, there are some bacteria that live on oil, but then they live on oil, not on flesh, so they wouldn't participate in decomposition. I think that the great number of fossils that are found in tar pits around the world would bear this out. When an animal falls into a tar pit, then its remains remain for a long period of time. Depends. My first intuition is that submerging a corpse in oil may result in cellular environment of the corpse becoming anoxic, causing metabolic activity in the body to slow to a halt. This would include the microbes within the body that would allow for the decomposition of the body in the first place. I would think that oil would slow the decomposition. Yeah! Oh my god, I'm a genius! That's okay. So he's an idiot. He really is stupid for putting their bodies in oil. Because like when they find the oil rig, their bodies are still going to be there, and their bodies are still going to show the signs of strangulation.
None of this makes sense.
Hey, stop using these for ear cleaning. They're even banned to use in the United Kingdom.
Why would she hurt my fucking girls? I'm sorry.
He's covering his face because he's not actually crying. He's just essentially trying to force emotion. Enough emotion to probably make it seem like there is, and probably enough for like a tear or two to come through, so that way his eyes are red. So when he lowers his hands, he can essentially do like the, and then like wipe his face. His eyes are red. Is she looking at his dad?
Where'd you put him? Take him out there.
In the truck.
Did Shanann fight back at all? When you did that?
The rage that I had after seeing that, much. I didn't know what else to do.
I know, so tell me what you did. I know.
I didn't know what else to do. I was so scared.
I know.
I feel like he's still lying. I feel like he killed all three of them.
What do I do?
Right.
You were in a tough spot. I mean, what can you do, right?
I think your body just kind of takes over and...
What's gonna happen?
We're gonna help them get out of there. Chris, I know they're gone, but they're still your babies, and you're still their dad.
And you don't want them out there.
I don't want them out there.
And you don't want someone else to find them out there. You don't, I promise you. You give us a second so we can kind of get some things arranged. Can you do that?
What the fuck to do? This is just fucking horrible. I've always said she was an unstable person, but I never thought that a million years that could happen.
Okay, well, maybe he is actually crying. Maybe his wife really did kill them. But, like, why would she do that? Like, what motive did she have? Oh, well, I guess he did say that, like, she was gonna lose custody of the kids. So maybe she killed them, being like, well, if I can't have custody of these kids, no one's having custody of these kids. But he also could have said that just like for the purpose of the story. I don't know. Oh, I thought he was talking about like the interrogation. Like, why is this happening to me? I'm like, sir, you just killed your kids. And your first thought is, why is this happening to me? Well, you just, or you killed your wife, at least. He at least admitted to that.
That's like on the old news anytime something.
Who's blaming on the wife now? So apparently his wife killed the kids, and then he killed his wife. Apparently he heard like apparently they were having like a little bit of an argument. They were talking about the separation, and he was like, "You're gonna lose custody of the kids." And so and then he like went downstairs to like go make his breakfast, do whatever, and he like heard rustling upstairs. And then he went back upstairs, and his wife was apparently on top of one of their kids, like strangling her or smothering her. And then he like walked into the room, turned on the light, saw that they were both dead, blue, dead, gone. And so he like went into a rage and then strangled her. But I feel like this still isn't the truth, because I'm like, why wouldn't you just call the police? Why wouldn't you just call the police and be like, my wife just killed my kids, and I had to take my wife's life because she just killed my kids? Like, why wouldn't you do that? You went through the whole trouble of essentially trying to hide the kids' bodies and your wife's bodies and your wife's body, and a completely you know what I'm saying? That's a little suspicious to me. That's a little sus.
Whereabouts is Shanann and the girls? The S for Shanann. Okay. And where are the girls at? In these? So how did you dig this out? I'm assuming that's under dirt. How did you dig that?
So it sounds like, I mean, it feels like to me, now we know pretty well how to go get him. Is there anything else we need to know?
I feel like he's gonna have to tell the truth at some point, that he probably killed his kids. I really don't think that the wife killed the kids. I feel like that gives him a reason to essentially get rid of the death of his kids by being like, she killed them because we were talking about the separation, and then she went into a fit of rage and killed them, and then I went into a fit of rage and killed her. So I feel like that is reasonable, but the fact that he went through the trouble of, instead of just calling the police after the kids died, after she would have killed them, he killed her and then buried her body and then put the kids into an oil rig, which, after upon further research of my own, I just did this research right before you came back, Marty. I just did this research, and apparently going to like putting a corpse in oil actually slows the decomposition. So he's an idiot for even putting them in there.
Let my family down. Let my dad down. Let my mom, sister, nephew, nieces, friends, co-workers.
Can I ask you another tough question? Just get it all on the table. When you see Shanann choking, strangling Celeste, and you get her off of Celeste, did you think about calling an ambulance?
I see you laying there blue and limp. I've never seen something like that in my life. I mean, she just like laid over, like nothing was moving at all. No gasp of breath. She was totally just blue.
After the baseline information of Chris's version of events is gathered, he is now locked into an alibi and timeline of affairs that forensics will subsequently examine and dissect in ways so they can use it against him. The tone of the interrogation then reverts back from information gathering to a confrontational nature.
So Chris, you're doing this job for a long time.
I know.
I know a lot about psychology and as far as like what
We're about to get some answers.
people are thinking. Most parents will never even want to fathom that their kid is dead. Even if their kid's stiff, blue in bed, I mean stiff like in bed all night.
Most parents are still willing to just call the police and be like, I need an ambulance, like my kid is blue. Okay? But he just assumed that his kids were dead. So he just put him in a bag or something and took him to an oil rig. And then his wife was dead too, so he just went ahead and... Little suspicious to me.
Right. They still call an ambulance to see if someone can revive their child. And when the ambulance gets there and they're like, gosh, their kid's been dead all night, like there's nothing we can do. And the parents are like, why are you not doing something? What are you talking about? So that's what we're used to. So that's why I want you to explain to me like what was going on in your head and
the rage I felt for what she did. It just took over.
I would hate for Shanann to get a bad rap if she didn't have anything to do with it.
Right.
It's not fair.
Especially because he also is really trying to paint this picture too that she was a bad person, because he literally even told his dad, he was like, what did he say? He was like, even mom just thought like she was an evil person, and I just always thought that she was wrong. Weird that you would just suddenly throw that in there, right? It's weird that he would say that, especially because a lot of people would assume that like in-laws don't really like whoever their child ends up with. But if they've never had any issue, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a little weird. It's a little weird. I think it's weird.
There is no technical term for this approach, yet it's a clear attempt by the detective to interconnect to the suspect's sense of morality, which is always under the assumption that they have any.
Like enough bad stuff has happened. Like we need to stop the bad stuff from happening. So you want to tell us the truth?
That is true.
So you're good with the public knowing that Shanann killed her daughters?
I did not hurt these girls.
Are you okay with the public knowing that Shanann?
Yes, because I did not hurt these girls.
Chris, I'm not sure I believe you.
Are you sure Shanann didn't catch you?
No, my God, no.
Don't get mad.
And that's what I think happened, was that Shanann is the one who actually went downstairs, and then she came back upstairs and saw him strangling the girls, and then he strangled her. That's what I think actually happened.
But what it looks like is that you found a new life, and the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life.
Oh, this is
and I
wild.
think that you killed these girls before their mom came home. And I think that you killed these girls.
That would make way more sense. Because the mom that Shanann was on, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Why didn't I think about that? That Shanann was on a business trip with Nicole and did not come home until 2 o'clock in the morning, which means that he killed the girls before Shanann came home from this business trip. Okay? The lights were off. Everything. She probably came home, was like, oh, the girls are asleep. I'm not going to bother waking them. I'll see them in the morning, whatever. And then he probably killed her after that, after she got home. He probably was like, I killed the girls, now I'm going to kill you kind of thing, whatever. We're going back a little bit because I really want to hear what the...
God, no. Don't get mad. But what it looks like is that you found a new life. And the only way to get that new life was to get rid of the old life. And I think that you killed these girls before their mom came home and then killed Shanann. And that's what we're kind of left, that's what we have to believe, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, to her point, if I walked in and my kid was decapitated, I'd call an ambulance, right?
knowing there's
Right. Even knowing that there's no chance of your kid actually being alive. If your kid was decapitated on the ground, knowing that there's no chance that your child is even alive anymore, you'd still call an ambulance because you're like, that's my kid. Because you need somebody to at least be like, even when you already know the truth, and then the paramedics are like, he's dead, right? You'd still be like, no, like there's no way, like, can't you like put his head back on him and like sew his neck and like he'll be fine? Like, no, the brain has gone without blood and oxygen for way too long. He's gone.
It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't add up. So either you're this monster who says, I just want this young hot girlfriend, so I'm going to kill everyone and hope it works out, or something. So I think we're very, very close to the truth, but not quite there yet. So if you're not that monster,
I'm not a monster.
so what's going to happen when their cause of death comes back to you?
Let's face it, guys' boxers are the best, but they're not made for women. Ladies, isn't it time we had our own boxers?
Yes.
Well, now we do.
Pop off, sis, with your new boxers.
Okay. You sure?
I'm 100% positive it's not going to come back to me.
And what happens when a coroner looks and says, sees your fingerprints on their neck? Not going to be my fingerprints. Okay. What's it going to be?
He's an idiot because he literally just kept lying. Sir, if you would have just told the truth and got this over with.
It's going to be Shanann.
Why take their bodies out of the house and bury them?
Did he say Shanann or Shania?
It's going to be Shanann.
Shanann's,
Why
okay.
take their bodies out of the
Her name is
house
Shanann.
and bury them?
I was scared. I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
Nothing was gonna, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know what to do.
Scared of what?
Scared of what everything was gonna look like. My 2 babies were gone, and I just did that to my wife. And I was the only one left in the house. What do you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah. It did look bad.
Which is valid. I think a lot of people would probably just go ahead and assume that, like, he went crazy and killed all of them. But, like, that is literally what happened.
It looked, I mean, this was a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay. Yesterday when you were talking, and again, this is before we kind of got to this moment today, you mentioned that we were talking, you said, I don't know where they are, and then you said something along the lines of, whatever happened to him, this act of pure evil. What does that mean?
Is this the evil that I saw when I walked behind Shanann and she was on top of CC? And then I felt evil for what I did to Shanann.
Okay.
He's trying to cover his face because he doesn't want to look at them.
So after we look at their bodies, we're gonna have a lot more questions. Things are gonna be different then, but if you're willing, we'd love to talk to you then too. Now that we know what we know, we're going to, I need to check that you don't have any weapons on you or anything like that. Do you have any weapons on you? Okay. We'll do that. We'll go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna go in the stall with you, but I'm gonna go with you. And then we'll come right back here and we'll make a decision about how the rest of the night goes. All right, so you might stand it up so I can check it.
It's time. I feel like Mariah Carey. It's
This interrogation
It took me a
was
second to find
true
that note.
testimony of how mental fatigue can restructure an individual's cognitive rationale. Chris maintained his innocence even after the failed polygraph, and if he had kept that stance, he would have walked out of that police department as a free man for at least another night. Yet, after a prolonged state of isolation, anxiety, and fear, coupled with the cerebral influencing tactics of the interrogators, the alleviation of getting out of that situation was in that moment perceived as enough of a luxury to exchange his freedom for it.
Chris, come stand up for me. I'm going to have you face that wall. Lift up your hands.
49 minutes?
Hey, Vinny, where'd you get that shirt?
For a sentencing? Hold on. I want to see this. Oh, okay. So he was, in fact, found guilty. Oh my God. Okay. We're going to watch this a different day. We're going to watch this a different day. Only because I don't know if I'll get a DMCA strike. This was only 4 years ago. Hold on. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. I can't believe this was only 4 years ago. How did I not know about this? That's crazy. Wow. We're gonna watch the sentencing of him one of these days because I need to see that. Any hoozles. All right, we're gonna watch some OTV and Friends now. Before OTV and Friends. And then we'll end stream after that. Let's see how many videos we need to watch. We need 1. We need 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. So we can watch like 2.
Freestyle carry, instant access, two-faced design.
Oh my god, it's made for me. I'm Two-Faced.
You guys ever have like an intrusive thought and then you just like act on it?
Yeah, you gotta do it sometimes.
Yeah,
My
surely.
intrusive thoughts, a lot of the time, are like I couldn't act on it. Like we were in New York, and Toast was standing in front of me, and there's the street, right? And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I just like Sparta kicked him? You know, like
Yours are murderous.
What?
It's like, of course I'm not gonna do that, but it was like.
Sydney is me.
Sydney was talking about yesterday how she wanted to push me in front of a moving car.
Whoa!
I love how Toast just spun the story. And he said, Sydney was talking about how she wants to push me in front of a moving car.
What?
Oh. I think I have to clip something.
I wouldn't call that
Wait.
Sorry, no, you sounded surprised like you didn't remember saying that.
Did you say that, Sydney?
You make it sound so bad. Okay, there's the street, right? And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I just like Sparta kicked him? Like I was anywhere in front of him.
I get that too. Whenever I see Toast
Thank
walking
you.
down the escalator, I'm like, what if I
Wow.
just kicked him in the back?
You don't just think, you actually do that.
No, I don't. Down the escalator? No, those things
Not-
are dangerous.
Down the escalator?
Kick me in the back of my knee and make me go to the floor.
No. I do that when you're going up the stairs. Get it right.
Lily said, first of all, if you're gonna accuse me of anything, get it right, bitch. Oh my god. Lily said, absolutely not. She said that is not the truth, babe. Okay? She said,
would
you know
rather
that.
have a family member walking on you getting off to animal porn? Bring a sex doll everywhere you go. Okay, as much as like everywhere I go many places. You can just bring a sex doll places. Like you have to choose this one. You have to choose one moment of absolute shame to like you can't bring a sex doll with you everywhere. Give me the doll. No, there's no
Give me
way.
the doll.
How distant of a family member? Like I don't want it to be my mom. There's no way. How distant of a family member? Like I don't want it to be my mom, but could it be like my cousin second removed or something?
Right, yeah. I feel like somebody like, you know, you don't really talk to that much. Walking in, you're like, ooh, you know, somebody like you don't see that much, right? That's like different. But like that's different, you know? But then like the doll, I feel like the doll's not that bad. I feel like bringing the doll everywhere you go would just be like a really funny joke to like explain, right? You're just like, oh, I lost a bet and now I have to bring this doll everywhere I go, right? You could literally make up so many things. I feel like that would be, and then people would probably think it's so funny, or they might think you're a perv. But I also feel like either way, people think you're a perv.
Genji ball, Genji ball, Genji ball, Genji ball.
Love Genji ball.
Genji ball, let's go.
Except it's starting. Oh, there goes Michael. Oh, there goes Wendy.
Tag it.
Oh, there goes Chuckles. Oh, there goes.
Dude, Genji ball is awesome.
Okay, so I had another wig. I don't know if it'll look any good, but
I don't know if
Why
it would look any good.
This one? That does not look too good, but why not? Let's do it.
Oof.
Einstein? Honestly, probably. No way! I feel like... God, it's actually the exact same thing. This is crazy. This is actually... Look.
Oh.
We're the same. No way. How is that possible? Wait, what is this? Cosplay! And then if I add the cat ears... I hate it. I hate this for us.
Meowed Fuji. Sorry.
I sound like Marge. Oh. Good night, Lisa. Good night, Lisa.
Why did he allow her to pay for a year up front?
Why did he? You know what? Yeah, it's the same kind
It
of
is.
rasp. It's like I don't even need to try to sound like her right now.
What is he on about?
Something about his phone not working the way it's supposed to be working, and it's very frustrating when you want something to work a certain way, but it doesn't.
Oh yeah, I bet. Cue up, Toast. What do you play?
Oh yeah, bet. Cue up Toast.
Wow, she really did not give a fuck about your problems. She just wants to play fucking Overwatch, dude. Damn.
She said that's so crazy. Cue up.
Man, the fucking sucks, man. Anyway, fucking nut up and just cue.
That is so funny. Oh, not this man getting sucked into a toilet. Sir, you okay?
Wait, hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, my game froze.
Self-snitched. I went in. Get in. Stop. Get in. I'm driving. Get out of the road. Get out of the road. Get out of the road. We're leaving. Everyone in the car. Oh God. Oh my God. Why did they run in front of us? No, just get in. Just get in.
I don't think I can get in. No,
Get in. Just get in. Who did I hit? Get in. Just get in. Go. Just go. We made it, guys. We made it out. Good. Wait,
They're
did
so
I kill more
stupid.
people than Ray did?
Yeah, you did.
I killed more people trying to escape than the actual killer.
I'm
That
Lil
is so
Foos, and this is Lil Bro.
Wait, I'm your little bro?
Well, no, you're Lil Bro.
Yeah.
Cause like Broden.
But like, I'm the big bro.
No, I'm.
So you're big foos to me.
Yeah, technically. Lil Broden. Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, I guess.
Hi, I'm Lil Bro.
Anyway, hi. No one really cares. I did it to be nice. I'm gonna go get the new phone, the new Samsung phone. It just came out. My dad says I could have 3 of them. How many Samsung phones do you have?
I don't have any.
Yeah. Well, sucks.
Yeah. Well, sucks.
That's just suck. I'm going. Daddy! Oh my god, I feel kind of bad for real.
I'll just go play in the corner.
Oh, yeah, with your non-existent friends?
Yeah.
Have fun!
Oh, with your non-existent friends? Have fun.
I didn't mean it. I didn't.
did.
No. Well, I've seen other girls and then they do it at school and they're really popular. And I didn't mean it. I just want to be cool like them. And I'm really sorry, little bro. I share my.
You're actually
I'm
crying.
getting emotional and sad.
Best Valkyrie tall moments. Oh my god, yes. Yes, I love this. Valkyrie tall moments. So tall. Thanks for watching. Okay. That actually is messed up. I was so excited. How dare? How dare? What the? Why? 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 You're already kicking me when I'm down. I don't. Wait, what? Okay, dude. Okay, bruh. Okay. Okay. You know what? You know what? Okay. Now I officially have even worse trust issues.
Oh my god.
John's coming into my room and I'm scared.
Ta-da! Pick your poison, anyone.
Pick your poison. John is. I want a man like John, please. God, universe, anybody have your love? I'm not asking for much. I'm asking for the bare minimum. The bar is on the fucking ground, man.
Bye, babe.
Bye, babe.
Thank you.
No problem.
That was really sweet. Today still sucks, but
Catchy.
this makes it a little better.
Sweet, sweet victory.
Me against Jody's bad days.
What did you say? Did you say ouchie?
I think it's catchy.
Oh, it is catchy.
Okay, here, I'm doing it now.
Okay. Oh my god, my favorite. Excuse me, everyone. Excuse me, hi. Excuse me, hi. Excuse me, hi.
Excuse me, hi. Excuse me, hi.
This is Bill. Hey, who's on the point?
Oh, they're all
Excuse me, hi.
Oh my god.
They're
Ah.
punching their monitors right now.
That felt so good.
30 seconds left.
Plenty B now.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. No, one on side. Yeah, one long. One long, one side.
One enemy remaining.
That's crazy. Ryan is so cracked. Why is the audio so low?
Oh, I got it.
I feel like I can barely hear it. You got this, Yvonne? Oh, watch, she's about to die.
Okay.
Let's go, the steal.
Oh.
Epic poggers.
Bet they'll learn to watch their corners now, huh? Oh. Come on, Leslie. Easy clap, Leslie. Easy. Yes. Yeah. Let's go, Leslie. I love Leslie so much. Oh my god, her and her sheesh.
You want to make the right choice when it comes to your employer and career. So, why work for Colorado Controls?
Can I skip this?
Oh, come on.
Come on, Pig. What is it, huh?
I like chicken nuggets.
Yeah, we should
Vote him out. Vote him out. Vote him out. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson to you. Get him out of here. Stop dancing. Stop dancing.
Oh, wait, that's right. Oh, God.
That's a great question, Blue. Who did kill me?
Red, vote red, vote red. Okay, red? It's
Yes, listen to Red. Everyone vote purple.
Hey, I'm not the imposter. Hey! No, you! I was telling you, Papa was the imposter. Papa was the second imposter.
You were trying to help us. We should have listened to you.
I know.
I know.
Red, they can't hear you. Red, they can't hear you. I know, they can't. I know, but they can't hear you right now. You're a ghost.
Oh, why?
Only I can hear you. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Our last spaceship broke down. We all had to go to the hospital. How much were your hospital bills? $50 million. It was $1 million for paper towels. I broke my head.
Wow, the kids understand how the American medical system works.
For real, they really do. How much were your medical expenses? 50 million. They understand very well how this crap works.
John's Italian shop, welcome. One Italian burger for you. Magnifico. Diet Coke.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Ice cube?
Napkin?
Nah, you thought pocket ice cube. No. Napkin? Ice cube? Ice cube. Keep them on their toes.
Where did he pull them from? His hood!
Napkin coming.
He's such a ding dong. I love John.
Whoa.
Yo.
Hello?
Who is this?
It's Ray. Who's this?
None of your business.
Is that Mian?
I have the funniest photo that you gotta see. No, it's
What
so
the-
funny. Why? Why?
Hey, what is wrong with you?
How do you type like that? Is what I want to know.
Because I was being
Bro, that's crazy.
Dude,
Yo,
look
you
at
got
what she
it.
just sent me. She has the nerve to take a screenshot while I'm streaming.
How'd she type like that?
I was typing secretly.
I was typing secretly.
We taking over chat.
I don't. That alert was never meant to be used. That was a joke alert. Okay, $10,000. That's going into the wedding fund.
I got shielded, so I looked at my character and was like, oh, who shielded me? And then I saw it was Pasta. I was like, oh, Pasta shielded me. That's so nice. And in that time frame it all happened. I wasn't paying attention.
Janet having her own personal dance party.
Earlier. Janet, does Janet have like a wireless mic or something? Like,
I think she
has a wireless headphones too.
Janet is the wireless mic.
While you're shitting.
Not muted.
All right, I'll.
Janet said, "I am the wireless mic."
And it was amazing.
Oh my god!
How do you do it? I want a finger point, but it's random. It looks like. No, quit finger pointing me. How you jerking off? How do you do some handy moves?
Flex cue?
Yo, Sakuna, you getting in on this?
Are you playing rock, paper, scissors? It's rock, paper, scissors, but it takes us a while to get there.
Oh my god.
I can't.
That's so stupid.
It's the fish tank gun. This is actually kind of sick.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Kind of creepy though. The thing at the top of the gun is kind of weird. Kind of freaking me out. Got some leggies hanging off.
The pussy?
I'm sorry, what did you just say? I've never heard you say that.
Not as I'm drinking.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Mia is so unhinged. I love her. Because it's a pussy. Please.
The pussy?
I'm sorry, what did you just say? I've never heard you say that.
Not as I'm drinking, bro. Oh shit! I spat that out.
That is so funny.
Literally, who's my little Discord kitten? That's right, it's you, my whittle, John Masayoshi Olo.
Stop, good God, man. You almost got the cheese touch. The what the cheese touch. Nobody knows when or how, but one day that cheese.
I've traveled the whole galaxy, and you're still the biggest idiot for making this $1.
Masayoshi proceeded to regret his decision
I
for
would
the
love
next
to-
several hours. Every night he tried to sleep, that wretched outer voice kept ringing throughout his ears. Isn't that right,
no,
Chewie?
But I will use the card for you. Is that good?
Please. Oh my god.
Holy
League
crap!
is
When
so
did Mirror Mana
fun.
look like this?
Is it fun
Looks
now,
so different.
Lily? My name's Wendy. Oh my god.
Is that how Wendy sounds?
Oh, pop off.
Is that your impersonation of Wendy?
I'm married.
I'm
That's her entire
married.
personality now.
I
Wendy, your
am
entire
married.
personality trait is just being married.
Well, now Wendy and Abe have chosen to exchange rings as symbols of their love for one another. Yeah, at least we knew they were safely stored, right?
I practiced
Not
this. I
Ryan.
knew exactly where the ring was. I wasn't pretending to not know where the ring was. My suit was small. And I said this before I went to LA. I couldn't reach it. Put on a small suit and try and reach the inside pocket. You will rip the back. And it's a rental. I could have ripped it, but I didn't want to embarrass myself. I just didn't think I was going to take that long to get it. But at that point, I was so committed.
Is there a toilet in this game? I need to take a poop.
Oh. You need to do what?
Oh.
Oh, you can. Yeah, yeah.
Feeling real ashamed now, aren't you, Young?
I'm never gonna recover from this. I'm never gonna recover.
Okay, can I post this? No, this should be fine.
I'm worried after what you just said, but
abstract. Yeah. Okay.
What the Ava?
It's cartoon.
Cartoon? I'm just gonna
You know,
guess
like,
so I can
even
get it off
blows
my
the
screen.
bubble.
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
supposed to be a
From
guy?
Blue's
I forgot.
Clues. Rat? Out of two guys relevant. Smack.
Yes.
Ed, and Eddie. This is Ed, and Eddie?
Of course, don't you remember Ed?
Of course.
Giant pig?
Don't you remember Ed, and Eddie?
Jawbreaker in his mouth.
That's the jawbreaker. So who's this then? Double D? What? Jesus.
Oh, okay. Oh, also Ming's gonna join us.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to go to the other Discord.
No.
No.
I don't think I will.
Well, you have to. Are you in the other Discord? Like the, oh,
I don't know what can you just what is it called? Like what's the name of it? Or can you not leak that?
it's called Friends. Oh no, you are in here. You are in here. You are in here.
Friends exclusively.
You are in here. Go to
I'm not
Friends.
in there.
You are literally in here. I see
Oh,
your
no, I'm in
name.
there. Damn. I thought this was like just Friends.
Yeah, it is. Why?
I'm seeing fucking everybody. He's got Slicker in here. You got Crazy Slick. You got. It's like an all invite pass. God damn.
He's lying. He's kidding. He's joking. Clarify that you're joking. Clarify.
Yeah.
He's
No,
in-
I'm kidding.
He's kidding. He's kidding. They're not in here.
It's a joke.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was never a team that won all 3 rounds of Meltdown before. I wouldn't be surprised if there was never a team that won all 3 rounds of Meltdown. I wouldn't be surprised if there was never a team that won all 3 rounds of Meltdown. I wouldn't be surprised if there was hang on second that won all 3 rounds of Meltdown. I wouldn't be surprised if there was hang on second that won all 3 rounds of Meltdown. I wouldn't be surprised if there was hang on second that won all 3 rounds of Meltdown. I wouldn't be surprised if there was hang on second that won all 3 rounds of Meltdown.
Where's the tab? Where's the tab? I have so many tabs. Where's the no? I have so many tabs. Where's the not this one? No. I have so many tabs. Where's the not this one? No. I found it. I have so many tabs. Where's the no? That's not it. I found it. I have so many tabs. Where's the no? That's not it. I found it. I found it. Where's the no?
I had like everybody's stream open from the MCC.
That's how you do it one frame at a time.
If that ever happened to me, I would literally just end stream.
Now I get to see.
Did he just learn about using arrow keys? That was really boomer of you.
Jody's lip wiggle like this.
You can do that. No way! Oh my god!
Wait, what is she? What do they do?
Dude, I thought he used the arrow key! Dude! Shut up, chat, shut up.
What was the code? 4842.
Forgot the angles of the The rat is running frantically for someone right now. It's me!
Oh man, well, that's gonna go, huh?
For somebody. I'm putting another.
Okay, we're fine.
I'll just roll forward, and then we just kind of slings the finish.
No, you're about
What
to
if we
fall
just don't
off.
finish and kind of
Yeah,
just?
let's wait at the finish line.
How far back do you think they are? Because we can't adjust the camera. I was gonna say, how far back do you think they are? Because we can't adjust the camera. Honestly, that was pretty close, though. That was pretty close.
That is so stupid.
Fade ulting?
Yeah.
Fuck me. I hear one on site. In the corner.
One copy.
It's fine. No.
Last player
No,
standing.
no.
Ryan, knife. He's
No.
turning now.
30 seconds left.
I was like, oh no, he's not gonna get
It took 2 shots.
And he turned right as I jumped. So he probably could have saw my feet there.
Turning now.
Right there. Maybe he saw the edge of like my foot. Abe.
That is so funny.
We are killing them.
Full steam
Oh,
ahead.
that's
Full
not.
steam ahead.
Jesus! What the
She's
fuck?
getting nice. Oh my god.
That's just messed up.
Man, you just got murdered.
Got murked.
Okay, I don't know. Do I go first? You go first? What are we thinking? Okay. Oh my god, do you even need me? I missed my fucking... Selena, I'm missing everything. I'm so sorry. I really just didn't... I just really was so
I don't
scared of
understand the
stealing it
concept
that I
of
ended
League
up
of
doing
Legends.
nothing at all. Oh my...
4
What? Totally blind shot me? One tap to the head?
Spike down A.
Spike.
Holy shit, you're killing everybody right now.
Can you watch
Sounds
art?
like, is it both art?
It's art and main.
Art main.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Wait, is this my ace?
Spike
Oh my
down.
This is her ace. This is her
Oh
ace.
my god, I'll give it to you. I'll find him. and
Slender
flash him.
ace, slender ace.
He's out here.
He's on the backside. He's on the back
I'm gonna
right
flash
corner.
him. I'm gonna flash him. Flash him again. Get him, Ray. Get him. Get him, Ray. Get him. Get him. Jesus. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Let's go!
That
He
was
did it.
That was the homie hookup.
Thanks,
Psycho.
son.
The homie hookup.
She hooked me up with an ace!
Oh, Jolly Rancher! Alright, let's get in there. And no, that is not good at all. Alright, let's use that ignite and try and bring these guys down. Let's get this Ash down if we can. And ultimate going off, and that's gonna bring a bunch of them down. And there we go, a bunch of pentakill! Oh my god! Pentakill! Crazy! No way! Oh my god, Carthus! Carthus! Oh my god, Carthus is crazy! Oh man! Oh my god, this is Carthus, best champion! Oh my god, I'm so glad I bought the skin.
My name is Gustavo.
What did I just watch? It's fine. It's okay.
My powers are not against.
Any Hoozles chat. Thank you all so much for going to stream today. I really appreciate it. Love you all, truly, honestly. Thank you all for the supporters today. Thank you so much for everybody in chat. I love you guys. Thank you again. And thank you for an amazing second stream too. I really appreciate it. Wow. I'm gonna stop. Any Hoozles. I'll stop. Anyways, tomorrow we're playing Stray. We're gonna start playing Stray. Maybe we'll finish it, or we'll just start it and then we'll play Fortnite after that. If Madi is available, I'll see if she's available to see if she wants to play some Fortnite with me. Otherwise, it'll just be another solo Fortnite day. But yeah. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next stream. So yeah, make good choices. Thank you so much for all the new viewers, all the new supporters, all the new subscribers, members, all that good stuff. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. And yeah, peace out. Bye.